like we're both hanging out.
Hit me good. I miss you so much.
Oh, this is so fun. I have never done a just chatting stream, so this is gonna be just fun.
All right.
My microphone's close enough.
I'm live. Okay. I'm live on my end. I'm just gonna go to my chat as well. And then
Can we have it bounce around like the DVD screensaver? Yeah, let me.
yeah. I'm gonna go to your chat as well so I can read both comments.
I tried my best. Aw, welcome in everyone. I hope y'all had an amazing weekend.
It would be super fun if everything could load as fast as I wanted to. It would be
Yeah, that'd be
super fun
nice,
if
but
everything could load as fast as I
alas,
wanted
not so
to.
much.
It would be
Yeah, that'd be
super
nice,
fun if
but
everything could load as fast as
alas,
I wanted
not so
to.
much. Oh, I just got the notification that you're live. Hooray.
Good morning. I'm Peter Davidson, not Pete.
All right, well, what do you want to start talking about? Are you officially live yet or not yet?
I am officially live.
Like you're not on your starting screen?
Nope, I am live. Live as can be.
Okay. Well, let's get
You're
started. What do you want to talk about first?
I guess we should talk about day 0. I guess we should just go in order. I have you on an ad right now on my end because I just got in, but
Oh, okay. We can wait for a second. Don't want to miss anything too important.
it's just me eating my egg drop soup. Nothing crazy happening here, folks.
I have a bunch of Pocky and
Love that.
wine. I had a really busy day. I woke up at like 9 o'clock and I'm immediately like I made myself a chai to start my day, get a little bit of caffeine, and then immediately started unpacking. I unpacked everything. I threw in all my clothes into the laundry. I cleaned my entire room, made the bed, put all the laundry away.
Good for you, honey.
I even went on a little walk outside because it was very nice.
It was really nice out. I
But
went
yeah.
to work today and we're in state testing and we already had a security breach. So tomorrow,
What?
yeah, like somebody had their cell phone out during the test and they shouldn't have, and they got caught and we had to report it. And it was a big deal. And now tomorrow, like the superintendent is going to be at our school and they're like, please make sure that you're not on any other websites except the testing website. Don't have your cell phone out unless you need to message an administrator that something's wrong. Like it's like all these, we got all these like you have to cross your T's and dot your I's tomorrow because we're in deep shit basically because this kid like decided to keep their cell phone.
Jesus.
Even
That's
though
crazy.
they knew that we weren't allowed cell phones, but I guess they were like today was the math and there was 2 sections and the first section you weren't allowed a calculator and I guess they were like using the calculator on their phone.
Oh, that's crazy
Yeah,
and really intense.
It's been an intense day. I got home, I was like exhausted. I took a nap. And so here I am, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to talk about our crazy weekend. Hey, Mishodam, what's up? Welcome in.
Oh, hello, friend.
Hey, Cheesecake. Cheesecake's in as well.
Oh, hello. Yeah, well, day 0, I woke up really nervous Thursday morning. I think I started having anxiety while in bed before getting out. So I like got up a little earlier than
Hold on. Cheesecake,
normal.
can you hear Anna? I just want to make sure that you can hear us both. Can you hear Anna? Go ahead.
Testing. Hello, Cheesecake.
Testing. Hello.
Oh my goodness. Oh, starting off the stream really, really strong. Charlie Trotter gifting 5 subs to my chat. Oh my goodness, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you.
I really appreciate that. Aw, thanks,
So
friend.
sweet.
All of y'all have really amazing emotes now that you can use. I think I need to move my alert box over a little bit. You weren't able to see that awesome gift.
Cheesecake can hear both of you, so that's great.
Okay. Let's
Hokely
move that over.
dokely. I have a box of cards that I was gifted. So I'm excited to go through this entire thing. It's massive and it's all foreign language. I have no idea what's in here.
What's the language?
Spanish and Portuguese, I believe.
That's sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff in here. So this is I have swag all around me, but this is something that was gifted to me by a follower just because they knew that I collected them and they wanted to bring them to me because they had a bunch. So this will be the first time that I'm going through this box. I've not seen what is in here and it is like insanely full. Like it was so much more than I expected. So
Donnie,
yeah.
what the fuck is up, RBs? Yes. Yeah, so I'm excited to get into cracking packs. We just started talking about day zero.
Yeah.
I had a really bad experience before my flight. Um, I know it's like not the most exciting thing to talk about, but I have been told that it's been helping others, so I want to keep talking about it. Um, so I was originally I got up a little bit earlier than I needed to, just so I could like have some time to really calm down and relax. Like everything was packed the night before. I had my outfit ready and everything, so I didn't have to think about anything. I just got up, brushed my teeth, threw my shit in the car, and we went. But right when I was in bed, I was getting the shakes a little bit, so I took some Dramamine. I know Dramamine is a thing for like motion sickness, but like for me, it really helps getting rid of like the jitters right before traveling. And then on our way, like right before we left the house, I took one little like melatonin gummy because one isn't enough to like make me sleepy, but it was enough for like my body to calm down a lot. The ride from here to the airport was probably the worst of the whole trip. I had like a bag in my lap because I like felt like nauseous, like I was gonna throw up. Um, but I never do. And so I just kept telling myself, like, you're not gonna throw up, everything's gonna be okay. I'm about to go see my best friends. Like I kept, I did a lot of meditating and a lot of repeating to myself, like, I am comfortable, I am safe, I'm about to go see all my friends. And sometimes even like rewatching my vlogs will really help. I know it's like a little silly, but sometimes I'll pull them up on YouTube and just like rewatch them and like keep telling myself this is what I'm about to experience.
Get those
And
views.
yeah. What are you eating over there, Ron?
An egg drop soup.
Hell yeah. But yeah, so the ride to the airport was the worst. Once I got out of the car and like was able to take a deep breath of fresh air, a lot of it calmed down. I was able to easily check my bag. I went through security no problem. Um, when I was in line for the flight, I took another like melatonin gummy, hoping to like get some sleep on the flight. Um, and then takeoff was a little shaky. But then once we got there like an hour early. So it made everything, um, from there on out, it was like, it was over, it was past me, it was time to move on, it was time to have fun. Um, and like the biggest thing about having these like little anxiety
Hey,
bubbles
Donna.
is just like knowing that when it's over, I'm gonna have so much fun. Like the fun is gonna begin once it's over, and that it's okay to just let it happen and sit there and let it happen. Oh, we have a judge in the chat judging the Pro Tour this weekend. How was
Oh,
that?
cool. Welcome in.
Yeah, Jen, that's exactly why I like to talk about anxiety. And like I reached out to a few people on Twitter this past weekend and like I gave them my tips and tricks and they said that it's helped them. So I always try to like at least mention it or bring it up because even just a small thing like take a Dramamine or like do some meditation, like everyone can do that. Um and it's just you really it's sometimes it's just a mental battle with yourself or not even a battle, I guess, because you're not really fighting yourself. You're just kind of like reminding yourself that it's okay and that you are okay, you will be okay, and all that. It's like a mental thing. But yeah, that was my flight in. How was your flight in?
My flight is I don't know if this is a boring story, but my flight was really uneventful and easy because um Hey, Bearded Glove, welcome in. By the way, Vin the Human in your chat was the one who gifted me these cards. He's in your chat, so
Oh,
yeah, if he pops up, he's the one who gifted me these cards. So thank you for that, Vin.
that's exciting.
Yeah, my trip was really easy and uneventful. I travel a lot. I've traveled my whole life. I have zero travel anxiety. Getting on a plane for me is like getting into a car. It's nothing. Like I just feel the same as getting on a bus or a car or any other like mode of transportation. I feel zero anxiety. Like even in turbulence, I feel nothing. And it's like I'm just empty inside. And I see people around me panicking and I see people's like attitude change and obviously if they're strangers, I'm not going to talk to them when they're in like panic mode, but when it's my friends, I try to like be cognizant and recognizing that they are feeling unwell or uncomfortable, and I try to like engage them in conversation or put them at ease so that they could not really pay attention to what's happening or what's going on the plane, because it doesn't bother me at all. I don't feel any kind of flight anxiety. It was really easy. I think my flight was like 2.5 3 hours, and I slept a little bit of it and had a snack, and then I was there. It was a pretty easy flight.
Nice.
I flew down with Ryan. So the three of us were rooming together. It was Anna, Tron is bad, and I. Um, Anna took a slightly earlier flight, like 2 hours ahead of us, and
'Cause
Ryan
it was
came
like
with me.
$150 cheaper.
Yeah, Ryan and I were able to purchase our tickets ahead of time, and the rates at the time were cheaper. And then when Anna had the funds to purchase her ticket, the rates had gone up by like $300. So,
Literally double.
yeah, it was double. So she took a different flight a little bit earlier because it just was a better rate, and it wasn't too far off from the time that we were going to be there. So we Ryan and I flew together, and it was nice having somebody at the airport to chat with, and then we checked into our room, and then we took a walk into the convention center to pick up our badges and get a lay of the land. We got to see the room being set up before anybody was in it. We got to
Yeah,
see
we
like
peeked our head, we heard the roar
yeah.
of the dragon, and we were
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, what is that?"
So the dragon was new. There were lots of photo ops with like statues and things like that we had seen at previous Magic Cons, but the dragon was a new addition. So we heard the roar and we were like, "What is that?" So we asked if we could kind of peek into the room, and we saw
Yeah,
like
we didn't
this.
go in, we just, like, kinda peeked it
Yeah.
our head over.
We saw this massive like Shivan dragon, and we heard that it was like constantly roaring, and that was super cool because that was like completely new, and we got to see it in like an empty room. um and then what else did we do that I'm trying to think back. It feels like so long
Well,
ago.
so my flight landed, like, an hour early before it was supposed to. Sin, welcome back in. 12 months is literally a whole year. I really appreciate you and your support. Thank you. You're
Thanks for the bits,
amazing.
bio. Welcome in.
Did I hear about the new standard rotation? Yes, I did.
Yes,
I don't play standard. I know Ron does, so she might have
I
thoughts about that.
do.
Bio, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I do have thoughts about that. I feel like wait, hold on. I'm trying to look at both of our chats because I'm like going back and forth.
Oh, I could
Um,
probably pull yours up on my phone.
I what do you call it? Yeah, I play standard recently. So I have only been playing it for a couple months, so see I don't see how it's affected previously because I'm new to standard. Um, however, because I don't want to say I'm a negative Nancy, but because like I I'm neither negative nor a pessimist, but I want to say I'm a realist, and I look at all pros and cons, right? So it's like Pros, I get to keep the cards I really love a year longer. However, I feel like it's less of a pro for me because I kind of like utilizing the newer cards, and every time I amass new cards, I change my decks. So I'm not married to the same deck for 3 years because I feel like that would get stale and boring for me. I personally want to change out my cards.
Oh,
However,
hold on one
hey,
moment. We
Alec.
were getting a giant raid from John Likes Games. Thank you, friends. Welcome
Yay, welcome
in.
in.
We're just doing a little just chatting stream today. Super chill, super casual. I normally play a lot of Commander over here. Also, my name's Anna. Hi.
We're
We
going to
do a
be
lot of paper
cracking
Commander.
packs later too.
Yeah, we got a whole thick stack of packs right over here. Oh, and a coupon for free pot bellies that we were never redeemed.
Hit.
Oh, thick stack of packs. But
Hey,
yeah, hi.
Alec.
Everyone new that just came in. Thank you, John, so much for that raid. I hope your stream went really well. Welcome in, everybody. We love to play Commander over here. And today we're just doing talking about Minneapolis. We just got in late last night. So today was
Yeah.
all unpacking and cleaning. And yeah, we literally just kind of started. So I hope you all stick around and learn a little bit about Magic Con Minneapolis if you weren't
Hey,
able to go.
Pie. Hey, some kind of nutsack. We're both streaming, so if you hear two voices, it's me and Anna, and we're talking right now about standard and how the standard rotation has changed to 3
Yeah.
years. So I feel like I I don't mind switching out my cards. I like using the newer cards. I like changing my decks more frequently. I feel like it helps you become a little bit more unexpected, where if somebody just has a meta deck and they're using the same deck for 3 years, the opponent knows what to expect. Especially if you're doing
Yeah.
best of 3 as opposed to like best of 1 kind of Magic, then like you can sideboard and change things or whatever. I'm playing best of 1 right now. That's like the format and the way I've been appreciating play. um and I mostly play standard and arena. I sometimes draft and do other things, um but yeah, I like to make use of the newer cards as much as possible. However, there is a negative because there are cards that you hate to go against or cards that you hate seeing. Like for me,
Yeah.
I really hate Phyrexian Obliterator. I hate that card. I will remove it as much as I can, and I do have a lot of removal in my decks, but it's like if you just don't draw into it and they have 4 in their hand, it becomes like a tireless battle, you know?
Fantastic meme on my Twitter. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's like Rick's face
What's
from the
this?
first Rick and Morty show, and it's just the caption is "Fabled and shielded forever, and forever 100 years fabled and shielded. Every minute fabledandshielded.com www 100 times fabledandshielded.com."
Yeah, so I really hate Phyrexian Obliterator. That's like a card that I wish I would see gone in 2 years instead of 3, but alas, here we
Yeah,
are, you know, and
exactly.
there's gonna be
Yeah,
some
there's
gross
like
stuff
pros and
that's
cons
new.
to it,
Yeah.
but
Overall, I don't mind because I haven't been playing for 2 years to notice that, you know, when cards legality changes. So for me, this is all,
oh my
you know,
goodness.
all I know.
Sin, what is up? All right, gifting another 5 subs. What? Thank you so
Yay.
much. This I was really nervous to do my first just chatting stream, but it's y'all seem to really like it. I do have 2 questions I need to catch up on. Good afternoon. How was the trip? It was amazing. We're gonna get back into it as soon as we stop talking about standard. Did I enjoy it? Yes, 1,000%. It was probably the best Magic Con so far, and we can get more into that as well. And then Charlie wants to know, when did the 2 of us start playing Magic? I started about 6 or 7 years ago.
I started 2 years ago. It'll be just about 2 years like this it'll be just about 2 years in April. So like April, it just my 2 year in Magic just passed in April.
Oh, yay. Thank you again, Sin. I really appreciate you.
Thanks, Bobby Christine, for the sub.
Bobby. Yeah, but before we were talking about standard, we were talking about, I think we just got to like Thursday afternoon. My flight got an hour in got in an hour early. Literally, my flight said it was going to be 3 hours. It was only 2. I don't know if like the winds
What?
carried us there or what, but
That's
I had time
crazy.
to like explore because I used to live in Minneapolis for 2 years. So I went and explored the uptown area because I used to go there all the time for shopping and stuff. And I bought some food for the hotel and some snacks. And I went to a new like boba tea place that I haven't been to before because when I lived in Minneapolis, I didn't like boba. Adam introduced me to it, my boyfriend, and now I love it. And so I was like, I'll go to one place that I really miss, and I'll go to a brand new place that I haven't been before. And that was really fun. And then right as I got back to the hotel, Ron and Ryan literally walked in within 60 seconds. So that was very fun.
Hey, hey, hey.
Um,
Good
and then
timing.
yeah, we literally dropped everything off, unpacked, put our clothes away, walked over to the con, picked up our badges.
Welcome in everybody who's coming over to my stream, by the way, and following and subbing
Yeah, Ron
here
is
as
also
well.
live. So if you want to go, if you're following me, you should go follow her as well. So are you coming to Vegas? I am trying my best. I think if I at least buy the plane ticket now, I have like 4 months to pay it off, is my point of thinking. I just have to like commit to it. I reached out to Misha about like I'm willing to pay her to help me cosplay. I want to cosplay something for Vegas, and I've never cosplayed before. And I'm like, Misha, I will literally pay you to help me like put together my first cosplay. I don't know how that's gonna happen, but I don't know. It's literally the first day after Minneapolis, so we will see. Yeah, it'll be Claire de Lune if I do a cosplay. The pink hair, the cute little outfit. She carries around balloon animals. Like, come on, it's the
So
most Anna magic card.
Misha came up with the idea of all of us cosplaying an uncharacter because she's gonna do Space Bellerin. And
Space
so
Days.
I think I might do Monoxa because she already has red hair, and it's like the same
Yes.
vibe. I'm in between two ideas. One is cute and one is hideous. So like, it's a very me place to be. I would either do Monoxa or DK.
I love that.
Um which would mean I'd have to make like a mask, like a silicone mask or something like that, which is crazy, but here we are. Um yeah, I think it was a really good timing that we met up that way. Super quick and easy. I'm trying to think of all the questions. When we started playing Magic, we talked about that, and are we going to Vegas? I think we're all trying to go to Vegas. I think it's gonna come down to like price and funds, but
If I can get
I
my plane ticket, it's an automatic yes. That's always the most expensive and hardest thing to book, but the hotel is easy.
Thanks,
Um,
Vin, for popping in my stream as well. Some kind of nutsack says Magic Vegas is just Magic Minneapolis, but more neon lights and boobs. Not necessarily true
well,
because we did we did Magic 30 in Vegas. That's where it all started. So we did that, and it was very off strip, so you didn't get the strip experience.
yeah,
I
and it
wouldn't
was very
even
small and cramped and
Yeah,
crowded.
it was very small and cramped and crowded. It wasn't at the Las Vegas Convention Center. It was like at the World Center or something, like the Globe Center or something like that. It was like another convention center, but it wasn't the main one. And so I think it was just like the layout was really inconvenient, and you really felt divided. So like if your friends were doing something across the room, there were like panels and squares, and it was sectioned into little rooms, so you felt like ships in the night, like you were never running into each other. And I feel like I didn't really get to spend quality time with people. I just got to like say hi to people and pass by. I didn't really get to like lounge or sit or do anything with anyone. Also, the artist
Yeah,
area was very, very cramped. They didn't leave enough room for the lines in the artist areas, and just walking through there was very claustrophobic and very tight. So Vegas was completely different experience than Minneapolis, but I will say Vegas was the first one, and they have done a lot of growing and learning at each con.
oh
So
yeah. I
after
think
each con, it's been getting better and better and better, and Minneapolis has been the best one so far.
yeah, I was thankful because Mara, I'm sure you all know Mara on Twitter. She literally like was the only reason I was able to go to Vegas. And Vegas really was like a girls' trip. Like we all hung out together. We all stayed in a room together. We like went to
Not
karaoke
me.
together, dinner
I wasn't
together.
with the girls.
You were in our room, but
No,
you were with
no.
us
Yeah, I was with
a
you
little
all,
bit.
but I didn't stay together.
Um,
I roomed with two other folks
yeah, but like
closer to
the
the
if
event.
I didn't go for my friends, I would not have enjoyed Magic 30, I think. Because I didn't play a single game of Magic. I played one game and I missed the cosplay contest because it was in like a different building away from the
Yeah,
venue. So I didn't even know it was happening. And so I was
yeah.
so upset that I missed the cosplay contest. It was just really upset. It was really upsetting. And they have made a lot of improvements. A lot of improvements. I did miss one thing. Sim asking if I'm going to Orlando. I as of right now, no. It is only a month away, and I don't think that I am in a position where cool stuff can get me out there. Um, so most likely no, because I do not have the money to do that.
So Orlando is the one where most of my friends are attending, and
Mm.
it does seem to be the biggest one. However, the closest one to me is Baltimore, but I have the best relationship with Pastimes. So I know that if I wanted to go to one or another, I could probably do the indie one with Pastimes, and I would have a job to do. I could work on panels or be an invited creator because I've worked with them several times before, and I think my opportunity of getting paid work and getting funded or assistance to travel would be the best to go to indie. It would be the cheapest option for me and the best option professionally. Um, though I know I'll be like missing out on my friends being at a different con. So I'm
Yeah,
it's still up in the air for me, but I'm gonna talk to Pastimes and see weigh my options
I
a
thought
little bit.
about I thought about reaching out to them to like apply to work there,
Hmm.
but like I have to like type up my resume and like write a cover letter.
Yeah.
I haven't done any of that in like 7 years.
Um, I feel like I do it all the time because I don't want to work in education anymore. So I'm constantly looking for different work because your girl is over it.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, Vegas, I want to say is a big possibility because it's far enough away that I could really fund for it properly.
Yeah. We don't
Though
want to keep asking for money, so I really
right.
like think that a 4 month time period is a good time for us to like save up for it.
Though I do
Um,
want to book as early as possible to get the best rates, and I do want to also is the convention center like did they say where it's going to be held, because that would determine where I want to stay.
I have no idea. It
Cuz
might be on if it's on the website, it's probably already
I would hope they
posted
change
up.
it. I didn't like the last place.
Oh no, that was way
Um
too small.
some kind of nutsack is in UK.
Ooh.
Says can't see that happening anytime soon. Tim Commander Hot Takes Willoughby, the commentator, has a bar in London though, so can see him keeping a party going all week. Gunnar says we currently have no idea where it's going to be. If I had to guess, it's going to be in the bigger con center. I would hope so. The bigger convention center is in the middle of the strip.
Man,
I've gone
thank
to
you.
Vegas multiple times, so I'm really familiar with the strip. And there's a monorail. It's super easy to get around to. There's a monorail that ends up like right in front of the convention center. So if you're staying at
Ooh.
any of the hotels like near the strip, if your hotel isn't a monorail hotel, the one next door might be, So like there's a monorail station like every few hotels, and you can stay
Oh,
basically anywhere down the strip and
and do you have a link maybe?
you can either walk to the convention center or take the monorail right to it, and it's really super convenient and cost effective because you can get like a weekly pass or a weekend pass or something for it. It's easy, cheap. Like I was really disappointed at where the convention was in Vegas the last time because there's also no immediately nearby hotels. Like all the hotels are like maybe a quarter or 0.3 miles
Yeah.
away or more, which
Ubering back
seems
and
not
forth is not
far,
fun.
but it's a really like you're walking along a highway and it's like up down hills, and when you have all your cards and your merch, like it's a really obnoxious walk and doesn't
Yeah.
really feel safe at night if you're going to like one of the night events, which I did. And I, even though it was like, half a mile, I still Ubered it because I wasn't gonna go in like my heels and dress walking up like this grody highway. It just wasn't like it wasn't my favorite place. And I felt like even within the con, they had things at like other buildings that just felt so far away.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings con is going to be Barcelona. I would love to go to that cuz I'm off in the summer and it's my birthday. So, I would love to do that, but that is money that I do not have.
Expensive. I looked up the plane tickets just for shits and giggles,
Oh yeah,
and
$1,500 for me on my
oh,
end.
I just laughed. I just laughed and closed it out on my phone. I was like, "There's no way in hell."
15
I just had
hundo
a
just
question.
for the flight alone.
Yeah,
And
it's not happening.
then, yeah, and then I would have to pay for a hotel. And of course, because it's so far away and there's such a time difference, I would have to um get get there like a day early and leave a day later. So it's like an additional 2 nights as opposed to a local con where I could just go Friday morning or Thursday night and leave Sunday night. Um,
Oh, we just got the convention link in chat. Thank you, Donnie. I have that saved on my computer now.
Donnie coming in clutch.
Yes.
The
I really
hero
want to,
of the day.
I wanna brag about our Thursday night in Minneapolis and how great it was
Oh
because of
yeah.
me.
So we are still we're still chatting about our day 0. We haven't gotten very far in this conversation, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Fine.
Um
We're really good at talking, keeping the conversation going.
we're just gamers. Yeah,
Gamers
freaking gamers
and
up in this
talkers.
bitch. All right, so day 0. I'm also doing my nails right now, my press-on nails.
I have
So
to take my nail
I'm
polish off, but I can't find nail polish remover because 'cause
like,
I'm
so
gonna get in
while
trouble
we're
if I show up
before
at
we
work.
start cracking packs, I'm making double use of my time and like doing my nails while we chat and then get to the cracking. um so yeah, day 0 we met up, we did a little lay of the land kind of action, and then we went back to our hotel to like unpack, freshen up, chill, all that kind of stuff. And then we Anna, because she used to live in Minneapolis, knew a lot of like really cool spots to go to and was like, there are some places I really want to go to because it I miss those places, or I used to go there when I lived there and they're really good, blah blah blah. And I'm like, hey, I'm easy, like I'm not a picky eater, I trust you, I'll go wherever. So we got ready, and Anna had told me ahead of time that she wanted to take me to this place to have dinner, and then to this speakeasy called Volstead's. So we decided ahead of time like what we wanted to wear because we wanted to like look nice. Obviously,
Yeah,
we
we,
were
like, got
going
on a
out.
Discord call one night, and I was, like,
Yeah,
holding up my dresses, like, "What do you think of this?"
we literally did that. We like a couple nights before, while we were like thinking of what to pack, we were holding up and trying on outfits and like, oh, what about this for this night? And we planned out all our outfits and what days we were doing what. And then we ended up um so Thursday was day 0. We knew that we were going to see all our friends throughout the entire con, and that there were going to be after events to go to on Friday and Saturday night, and Sunday, we were still going to be with our friends. So Thursday, we just wanted to do something that was like just us, right? We wanted to do something that was like, we're here, let's relax, let's have like a nice night out. And we expected to have a really early morning the next day, so we were like, let's not go crazy, like, we'll get a couple drinks or whatever. So, and because it was a Thursday night, Volstead's closed a little early. I think they closed at like midnight or something like that. So it wasn't a terribly late night out. But Anna, tell them about the dinner because those rangoons need to be described.
Oh, I don't even know how to describe them, but they were just like
All right, so where did we
so
go? What did we order? Because I know we shared a
we
bunch of
went
things.
to Moto-E, Moto-I, Moto-E. It's an uptown area in Minneapolis. They have like ramen and Japanese food. They make their own sake in-house, which we actually didn't have any sake.
No, but our cocktails had sake in them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like I think all the cocktails are made with the in-house sake and then another drink. So mine was like a gin-based cocktail, but it also had sake in it.
Oh, I didn't even notice that part. That's cool to
Girl.
know. But yeah, we each had like pork buns, and then
Oh yeah, the pork buns were so good.
we split like karaage chicken and these rangoons. And I don't think the rangoons had meat in them. They were just like cream cheese and like veggies.
And it was so good.
So good. And
It was
the sauce,
the
that
sauce.
the sauce.
So yeah, I don't know what was in them. It could be like mystery meat. It could be like humans, and I'm like, damn, order me another plate of that,
I don't
human.
think
You
it was
know.
human. We can cross that one off the list. I do have a question here. Did we meet anyone famous at the convention?
No, but
Describe
people met
famous.
us. Just kidding.
Yeah, people met us.
um, no, I'm teasing. Describe famous, because I think famous is subjective, and a lot of the people that the public or the Magic viewers consider famous are now our like real life friends, and
What?
we forget that they're famous. You know what I mean? Like because we're just
Yeah, 'cause
walking
they're
through the
just
con with
people.
them as friends chatting, and then people are like coming up to us and we're like, "Oh yeah, they're famous." Like so who like give us some examples of who you consider famous because some of those people are probably are good friends.
I will say, in terms of like famous people going to cons, um, I think the actor that played Spock in the new Star Trek and who played that one guy he's the same guy that played the villain in Heroes. He was
Mhm.
in Vegas at Magic 30,
Oh, cool.
and I will forever like be upset that I didn't see him because he's my favorite actor in like two shows, and he was at the convention and played Magic, and I never got to meet him, and I didn't know he
Ephemeral
was there.
Eel says Zachary Quinto.
Zachary Quinto, yeah,
You never
Zachary Quinto was at Magic 30.
So you know what's funny is I met
Astral,
I
hello.
think I met Zachary Quinto once, maybe, I think. Um, he was in a New York City play, if I'm remembering correctly, but it was several years ago, so I can't recall the cast. But it was Boys in the Band. I went to see that on Broadway, and there were like five main guys in the cast that were super famous, and like three of them came out to meet the crowd afterwards. Um, the
Aw.
guy who played Sheldon in Big Bang Theory, he was in it, but he had like hurt a leg in the show, like he had like fallen off the stage or something like a couple weeks before, so he wasn't coming out to meet people because of like his injury. But so he didn't come out to meet, but there were several other people like Matt Bomer came out, and like I've never been like a Matt Bomer stan, but like I need the world to know that Matt Bomer is ridiculously handsome in person. Like I've
Good night,
never
darling.
seen a more
Thank you
beautiful
for hanging
man
out.
in my life. I like have never felt more hideous. I was like like a potato, like I was like, "Oh my god, this man is so insanely gorgeous." And like they just come out, you know, in like no makeup. They freshen up like after the show and they come out like no stage makeup or anything like that, and they just like are all sweaty and gross from like a hard day's work, and they look fucking beautiful. And I'm like I tried really hard today and I don't look half as good as you, like they're so anyway, yeah, I think Zachary Quinto
That's
was in that
funny.
show if I'm remembering correctly. Hey Virtue, welcome in. Somebody in the chat is saying celebs that play like Post Malone or Malachi Black. I did not see any celebs like Post Malone or something like that in Minneapolis. I would think if they were going to something like this, it would be Vegas.
Yeah.
But like as far as like celebrities in the community, like I know Prof didn't go to Minneapolis, which I thought was strange. I expected him to go, but he didn't go. But like Lady Danger is a friend of ours, and like Joe Johnson, Black Nito, the Nitpicking Nerds, they are highly recognizable people in the community, and they are folks that we spend time with because they're our friends.
Alan is saying Chris Cluey. Am I saying that right? Former Viking punter.
Let me go to your chat.
Is that sport? Viking is Minnesota, right? From I know because of that Lizzo song. From Minnesota.
The Loading
Vikings.
Ready Run crew were there. Yeah, they were super cool. Graham
I
was
still haven't met anyone
hilarious.
from Loading Ready Run.
Graham was hilarious
you,
in
hi.
the Game Nights Live thing. Yeah, Hunter Pence is the baseball player, no? I heard Hunter Pence was there, but I wouldn't recognize anybody from the sports ball. So, if you're asking me,
I didn't say hi.
if you're asking me if I met anyone famous from any kind of sports ball related content, I might have, but I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah, I
You
don't know
know?
sports.
So I've heard that people were there, but I wouldn't have been able to pick them out of a lineup, and they wouldn't have been like I wouldn't have gone out of my way to look up what they look like because I wouldn't care to like meet them. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah,
I wouldn't appreciate what other people feel passionately about them for,
yeah,
because I don't.
sports. Mm-hmm. All
But
right, we need to move on to Friday, right? We talked
yeah.
about Thursday, but not Friday yet.
The last thing about Thursday, we did get a behind the scenes tour of Volstead's. So that was
Oh
fun.
yeah, we were the
Yeah.
last two people to leave the speakeasy. So an employee came up to us and they're like, "Hey," on our way out, and they're like, "Hey, have you all been here before?" Ron hasn't, and I was like, "Yes, but like a long time ago when I lived there, I went there all the time." And he was like, "Well, do you want a tour of the place?" And we were like, yes." So he's like, "All right, well, let's go over here." And like we go over to the fireplace, and of course the fireplace opens,
Yeah, and it
and,
took us
like
through all
there
these
was a
secret
whole
rooms.
yeah, there was like a hallway into like this huge like room that you could rent out for parties that has like it just has like table and chairs and decorations in it, but like it was still fancy. And then we went back out and then we go into like one of the side rooms that was just roped off because it wasn't busy enough. And of course it was behind the second one was behind a bookcase because secret
Yeah, you
stuff
have to
always
have
happens
that.
behind bookcases, literally.
Yeah.
So he opens the bookcase, and there was another smaller little party room that could be rented out. And there was a second entrance into that room through the phone booth. Phone booth, because of course, why do they have a phone booth in the bar? Oh, because it's a secret entrance to a secret room. It makes so
We're
much
like,
sense.
oh, is that a working phone booth? I remember those. Just kidding. It's a secret passage. I did my nails. Look at me.
Nice.
Now I don't look like
But
a
yeah, that was really
troll.
fun. That was probably the highlight of my weekend was going out with Ron on Thursday.
Pie Overlord, I'm sorry you missed your Pokemon in my chat, but I do have a Magic 8 Ball, and you can ask the Magic 8 Ball a question by using exclamation point, the number 8, and ball, like, does Anna hate my guts? The 8 Ball says 9, so she does not.
It knows we listen to Ramstein.
9. We do in fact listen to Ramstein, so that was very apropos for us.
That's funny.
Yeah, so Friday we had to part ways at one point, right? Isn't that when I had the play test? I'm like
Yes.
looking back at my schedule. All right, so
Yes.
All right, I can say now, I wasn't supposed to say before, but I was hired to do a job at Magic Con. I was going to be Sheldon Menery's personal assistant, because as everyone knows, he's been posting his health hasn't been great. He's been undergoing cancer treatment, and
Yay! Thank you
hey,
so much for that sub. It was so lovely finally getting to meet you. Oh my god. You were such a pleasure to play with, play a game of Commander with. I really appreciate you a lot. Thank you so much for that
AJ,
sub.
welcome.
Thank you.
So, yeah, Sheldon's been going through cancer treatments and things like that. So, he was worried that he would be very weak and struggle to get from place to place at the con. So he hired several trusted creators as personal assistants for the weekend. And mine was the early shift. He ended up being too unwell to attend the con and had to cancel his appearance. So that freed up my mornings. I was supposed to be with Sheldon from 8 a.m. to about 2 or 3 p.m. every day. So I couldn't sign up for events at those times or anything like
Later
that.
then.
But since he had to cancel his appearance, my morning became freed up. So we were able to sleep in a little bit. I was planning to wake up a lot earlier, but we were able to sleep in. We got to the con around like 10 o'clock, which was just as well because the main room was open to VIPs first. So anybody who purchased a higher ticket badge got like an hour at the shops and at the main room prior to everyone else entering, which was nice because they got like first pick of the merch and all that stuff. And then the hall opened to everyone at 10:30. So I was glad that we ended up not going like super early because we couldn't have gotten into the main bit anyway. We could have only gotten into the free play area.
Yeah,
Um,
the weirdest thing about opening, I will say, like in Vegas, they had like a really like a very organized line for getting in the building. Like there was just like, you know, zigzags of lines and they did it section by section and it felt like we were entering this. It was grandiose and people were lined up by the doors and they physically opened the doors and it's like Magic 30 Vegas. But then in Philly, it wasn't anything like that. The convention center was so big that you can just go inside, but they were forcing everyone to go into the free play room to wait while the Black Lotus badge holders were off like doing like the early access stuff, and everyone was just kind of standing around. And then once 10:30 happened, there was like a line, and everyone was trying to like rush out the door. So there was kind of like, I mean, there was not much you could really do about that, but it was like a notable difference
I will
where
say though,
Vegas.
in Vegas, they had I think because in Vegas they were still requiring proof of vaccination and things like that. There were like double lines and the lines snaked around. Like getting into Vegas took like 2 hours because so much credentials had to have been checked. And it was a
Yeah,
really
but they
lengthy
still had
process.
like, even once credentials were checked, everyone was in like a nice line and like they did it section
Yeah.
by section and it wasn't just like a storm herd to the front. And it felt like I have like a footage of us entering in and it was like, oh my god, we're going inside. When in Philly and then Minneapolis was just like, all right guys, you have to go to this room right now. Like I can't have you guys standing out in the hallway. Like, and it was just like, okay, like I get it. It didn't feel like the
Yeah.
beginning of the event, you know? It wasn't like a, oh, welcome to Minneapolis.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It wasn't like
Yeah.
a big welcome or like it there was just definitely something
Small
different
detail,
about that.
but some of the small details are sometimes what makes it special.
The room in general, Anna and I agreed that the layers, the planeswalker layers were much smaller and not as grandiose, and we really missed that. We liked the photo opportunities that were at Magic Con Philly and at
Mhm.
Vegas of having like the big ample like fully decorated layers.
Yeah, they basically took all the layers away and then would just like kind of put a chair and some decorations in a corner and was like, here you go.
We do I did like that they have interactive props like Luxior Giada's gift. You could like actually pick it up and take a picture with it and stuff like that. Like that was cool.
They had
But
that in Philly too, but Talia
yeah.
was told she couldn't pick up the sword in Philly, but they were using it here as a prop. So something changed between last con and this con where you could pose with the props this time.
And we have the T on the dinosaur. So the
We do?
dinosaur, we do. The dinosaur was new in Philly. It wasn't at Magic 30 Vegas. The
The dinosaur
Watley
wasn't in Philly.
wasn't in
Or
Vegas. It was in Philly.
oh, the dinosaur. I thought you meant dragon. I was like, the dragon was
No,
new
no,
to
no.
I'm getting them all mixed up now.
The
The
dragon was
dinosaur.
new to Minneapolis, never before seen. The dinosaur and the Watley statue was new in Philly. And the dino has a seat on it and you're able like there this the rocks that it's on are stairs leading up to it so you could mount it and climb it and take a picture on it. And in Philly, that was the picture that everyone wanted to take, right? So everyone posted a picture on that dyno. This time when you first walk in, it's like right there, smack at the entrance, and then it was just surrounded by like shrubbery and trees and a sign that says like, please do not climb the statue. And we were like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Did we just have too much cake for the dyno? Like, was too much cake all over Magic Twitter? Because like, why can't we climb the dyno? So because I had scheduled time at the MTG Arena booth, I got the tea from Lady Lavinius, who was running the MTG Arena booth, that the dyno was damaged shipping it there. The head fell off. And so they were able to reattach it, but they were worried that it was like too flimsy and that if too many people got on it, it would keep falling off and keep falling off. And it would just look, somebody would have to stand there basically being in charge of like repairing it the whole time.
Oh,
So
no.
they
Okay,
just,
so it was just because of an accident.
yeah, it got damaged in shipping and they were able to
Okay.
set it up
Well, at
so
least no one
that it
fell off of
looked
it.
complete, but they didn't want anybody to touch it. So it was just for show and not like a usable prop this time. I think the intention was to use it, but
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
it couldn't be used because it was damaged. So that's the tea. So if you're wondering like what changed, it's no story, it's just that it was damaged.
But yeah, Friday was your play test. We did a little bit of a walk around. We just walked around the whole venue to see where everything was. Ron went to the merch booth right away and had to wait like an hour and a half in line just to like buy a merch.
Oh my god. I'm gonna show you my jacket because I put it right next to me. So that I could show you all my spoils from the con. So the jacket was the hot item. It was also the hot item in Vegas, and I did get the denim jacket with the patches on it in Vegas. And I wear that thing like every day, so it was a great purchase. The Letterman jacket was new to Minneapolis. This wasn't available at either Vegas or Philly. It is less of a jacket. It's jacket shaped and jacket style, but it feels like a sweater, and on the inside is fleece lined. So it's a little bit out of season right now, but still very cool. So this is the Letterman patch on the front. One is the Planeswalker symbol, and it is like a thick, fluffy Letterman patch. And then the other side is a 93 patch.
Oh.
And then the back is like the Black Lotus logo. And this is what it looks like on. I knew right away that I needed this jacket, and because I was picking up merch for several people that couldn't go, I was offered the jacket as a gift. So I didn't have to pay for it out of pocket, which was great because it was a little on the pricey side.
Yeah.
And I'm super
This
grateful.
Phyrexia shirt was the only merch I ever bought for myself. And
Yeah.
it was like $30. And it just looks like a metal band t-shirt, and I'm all about like metal bands. So I was like, I have to have the metal t-shirt, of course. But this was the only merch that I own for like Magic.
Yeah, so this jacket I wanted for myself, and somebody had offered to purchase it for me, but I
Nice.
also was picking up some stuff for other folks. I had somebody who really wanted the hats and somebody who really wanted the pins. So I was really standing in line for two other people, and then the jacket was gifted to me. So the line didn't even look that long when I got there, but it still was like a 2-hour wait, and I had an awful headache by the end of it. I was feeling super anxious and like just dizzy because there was nothing to do on the line, so you scroll on your phone, and then I was like feeling like motion sickness from like reading standing
Mhm.
up, and like it just I started to feel really crappy. But after I got off the line, I started walking through the con and I felt a little more refreshed. I took some aspirin and decided to go through all the shops because I wanted to do my shopping Friday and early and not have to go back. So I picked up a couple pins for my friends. I bought some singles, some like foreign language cards, and
Yeah, Cool Stuff Inc. had like
yeah.
a booth there, and they had not only did they like have the normal like they have boxes, singles, whatever you can trade in your cards, but then they had binders, and then they also had bulk boxes for like Well,
Yeah,
not I
like
guess not
50
all
cents
bulk.
or something. It was like,
Yeah, it was like 50 cents cards, and like anything sleeved was $1, and then anything sleeved with a price on it was the price.
but there was
Um,
nothing in there more than
like,
$3.
yeah, like this. I bought a Savor the Moment card for $3, and then
I
like
bought a ton of
this,
like foreign language cards, and there's somewhere in here because I put everything
and then
in.
just a bunch of random 50-cent singles.
Yeah.
But it was fun to just sit there. I looked through the bins for the whole 2 hours that Ron was in line because I am a gremlin when it comes to like bulk bins, and I'm like, I gotta look through every single card, every
Yeah.
single bin. I got it, and then I found like a bunch of mirrors, and I was really happy because I love mirrors and they're so good for budget decks.
Okay, so this is like these are the cards that I bought. I found them. Um a lot of wait, there's a pack here that I opened. That's not what I bought. Okay. So a lot of the foreign language I will buy in Romance languages because I can read them. So like French, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, I can read them. I usually don't buy Japanese or Chinese unless I already know what the card does. So I bought like these mole drifters because I know what it does. So I can get this and understand it. I bought a bunch of other like cheaper cards. I bought this like foreign language full art swamp, um a Jace. I bought a lot of lands, like full art lands, some dark rituals, um Rogue's Passage in different languages because I know what it
Hey,
does,
Casey. It went
you
really
know.
well. We're actually talking about it right now.
This elixir of immortality, um I know what that does, so I bought a couple. And, for like 50 cents, it's not bad. I bought a lot of white border because I like white border and I think it's doubly funny that people get so hurt by seeing white border cards that I'm like, okay, I'm just going to buy more white border cards cuz I like them. And I bought a lot of like the Tron lands, like old school Tron lands and um yeah, it was, like, super cheap, a high tide. Some of these are in really, really good condition as well. This is Russian, but it's an Azorius signet, so I knew what it was. Um, yeah, a lot of these are just super cool to have in the collection and cards that I would play or already have in other decks. So, like Door to Nothingness, this Avatar of Hope that's like a promo stamped foil and just like it's so
You should hold
pretty.
that one up to your face camera.
Like this one is super pretty.
Oh
And
wow.
I'm on blurry, so like it's
Oh,
hard to
it for a
focus.
second I saw it.
Yeah. It's hard to focus without taking off the blur, but yeah, that
Nice.
was like $1. Um I thought this was just really funny. Like this
Oh, the rabbit
yeah.
scientist?
Yeah. Um so I got a bunch of counter spells. Like a lot of it was just really useful stuff and some of it was collection stuff and white border shenanigans and full art lands. So this was like the only pile of cards that I bought. Otherwise, I cracked a lot of packs. Oh wait, there's a couple more in here as well. Otherwise I cracked a lot of I got a lot of a full plate set of Spanish lightning bolts, which was really cool. They were $2 each, so they were like a little bit more of a splurge, but I thought that was just cool to have, like a full white border play set of lightning bolts. I was really happy about that.
Sounds like a
So,
good time, Casey.
yeah.
Oh yeah, sick. Those look awesome.
Yeah, and they're like
And everyone knows what lightning bolt does, so it doesn't
yeah.
matter if it's another language. I have a full art lightning bolt, and that's the only full art card that's like the textless card that I use because I know what it does. I don't have to think about it.
Yeah, that's the let Let me go back to your chat as well. Those are the purchases that I made. For anybody in Anna's chat that is like wondering like why can't I see it? I'm also streaming on my chat with an
Well, my
overhead
chat can see
cam.
your face. I
Yeah,
have your face up in
yeah,
my
you
chat.
can see my face, but if you're wondering what the cards look like, they're out on my table on my chat as well.
Oh,
So
got it, got it.
you can like so as I'm talking about them, if I'm not like showing them up here, it's because they're on my table.
Got it, got it.
I got so much stuff. So that was Friday, right? Like Friday I just did my shopping, and that was really like all I did on Friday. I stopped to some artists and I got some artist proofs as well. So the only thing I spent money on at the con were like cheap cards from the bulk box, mostly white border and foreign language, and artist proofs. I always go and buy artist proofs. I haven't yet paid the extra to have them sketch something on the back because that is really expensive. It's like between $50 and $200 a sketch on just a size of a card, and I'm sure it's worth it. I just don't have the money for that. Where some of the artist proofs are like as low as $5 or $10, and I just think it's cool to have like an artist proof that's a limited run, it's a special card, and the money goes directly to the artist. So
Yeah.
I did spend my free spending money on artist proofs. Some were very, very cheap and some were a little bit more expensive, but I don't think I spent more than like $20 on a card.
Phoenix saying, I have so many artist proofs, and you gave me my first artist proof, and it's the only one I have, and I am forever grateful. It's in my unicorn binder, and I love it so much.
I just came across Misha's Saproling token. It is Magic Misha Migo won Best in Show at the cosplay contest as Slimefoot, and she had little baby slimy saprolings made, and this was her business card that she handed out, and she's a friend of mine, and I've had her on my stream a couple times, and I absolutely adore her. She is such a sweet person. So if you haven't followed her yet and haven't seen her, please go visit her pages because her cosplays are really, really great. And she's a genuinely kind person. So yeah, and she's got awesome little tokens for her cosplays, which is fun. So I'm really glad I got one. So Friday, you got in was Friday the day you got in your pod, your Infinity pod?
No, that was first thing Saturday.
Okay. So what did you do Friday? Because we got in, we did our shopping, we got a lay of the land, we took some pics, and then I had to leave at 2 o'clock to attend a play test.
Yeah,
So
and
what
then I
did you
just,
do then?
you know that one SpongeBob episode when SpongeBob goes to work and then Patrick is like all sad and waiting around for him, and then SpongeBob gets home and he's like, "Well, Patrick, what do you do all day when I'm away at work?" And he's like, "Oh, wait for you to get home." That was like me when Ron went to her play test. I was like, I don't know what to do.
Thanks, Pat Crack, for the follow. Welcome in. So they sent a survey out, and you had to fill out the survey, and they would, I guess it wasn't random. They checked the survey answers, and I guess based on the survey answers, they chose a certain amount of people to attend this play test.
I got rejected.
We did not Ryan got rejected too. He also told me he filled it out.
Oh, okay. I
So
don't feel as rejected.
it was an hour and a half. And it was bang on time. Like they started at 2, we were done at 3:30 on the dot. Like it was perfectly timed. So it was an hour and a half study, play testing a new thing and like new cards, and we had to sign non-disclosure agreements. We can't talk about anything that we saw or did there. Everything is completely private. And even though it's a cool enough experience just to say, hey, I had my hands on a product that's not out and nobody has seen before. Like, that's cool enough as it is. But on top of that, they were like, we're going to pay you $150 to do this. And I'm like, well, fuck, that's amazing. So they paid us in a Visa gift card. $150. And then when we got there, we were also gifted snacks first and foremost. We had like chips and water and stuff like that. And before we left, we were gifted a booster pack and a jumpstart pack, collector booster pack and a jumpstart pack. So in my jumpstart pack, I was able to choose which jumpstart pack I wanted. So naturally, I chose white. I chose Knights, and the best card that I got in my jumpstart pack was a Balan Wandering Knight, the anime version. So this card is like $20 to $25 for the like Japanese anime style. So that was a really good pull. And then I jet over to the game night show because the game night show was starting at 3:30 and my playtest ended at 3:30. So Anna was sitting at game nights holding me a seat. Yeah, Anna was sitting at game nights holding me a seat and was like, hey, this is where I'm sitting. And I like jet over there. So I sit down and then there's like a little pre-show thing happening. So I sit down and I crack my collector booster pack, which I have here. I still kept it in its plastic. I have here in front of me. And I start going through it with Anna. And I guess I like had it fanned out where you could see the last card, but I wasn't quite looking at the last card yet. I was still looking at them like as I go. And Anna's like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh, cool. Look, a Thalia and the Gitrog monster. It's foil. It's pretty. And I was like, oh, Thalia and the Gitrog. And she's like, don't you see what you got? And I'm like, Thalia and the Gitrog monster? And she's like, no.
Put it away. And I'm like, there's still another card in there.
She's like, you don't see it? And I'm like, oh, cool. Glissa. And like, oh, cool. Path of the Animus, full art. Oh, cool. Renata. Like, and I'm still going through and I'm like, why are you so soup? Like, what's going on? And it was a foil Ragavan. So I was like, oh my God. And she's like, yeah, I saw it a long ass time ago. And I'm like, oh man. She's like, your luck is on fire. So like, yeah.
So collectors, I'm dying to crack mine and I kind of want to talk about it.
Yeah. Let's go for it. Let's do it. So yeah, so this was a really fruitful playtest. Not only was I lucky enough to have been chosen, apparently from what I can tell, there was a very, very, very small amount of people chosen for this playtest. Like less than 100, less than 50 even. You know, like there was a very, very small number of people chosen for this playtest. And so I was fortunate enough to be chosen. I was fortunate enough to do it and have the experience. I got paid $150 for an hour and a half to do it. And then the 2 prize packs that I was given there had $100 value in cards in it. More than that, because I'm only counting the 2. I'm only counting Balan and the foil Ragavan, but there are other cards in here that are also worth, you know, several dollars. So it was an insane amount of value.
I'm gonna start cracking my March of the Machine collector booster.
Oh my God, I'm nervous. My butthole's tight.
I know, me too.
What's up, Andy? Welcome in. I'm so glad to see you in. We're talking about our spoils from Magic Con, our good moments, our entire con, things we did, and behind the scenes stuff, spilling the tea on like Watley and the dinosaur and why you couldn't climb it anymore. You know, just the juicy goss from Magic Con. So welcome in.
I'll have to flip my camera.
We're double streaming as well, so Anna, yeah, the cards are showing up backwards. That's what Mishodam. There you go. They're a little blurry because you're on blur, like mine was.
It's okay. This is the lore master, the elephant lore master from Strixhaven.
Okay.
I could probably turn down the blur while I do this too. Hold on, I am a gamer.
I am a gamer, indeed.
Okay.
Oh, Mishodam, the story behind the dinosaur, you were able to climb it in Philly and you were not able to climb it in Minneapolis. And many folks were like, why? We love that photo op. right? And they were like ready for their new poses this time. But alas, Watley and the dinosaur was surrounded by shrubbery and a big sign that said "Don't climb it," right? So Lady Lavinius at because I had set up at a time frame to stay at the MTG Arena booth. Lady Lavinius was running the booth, and she actually had the background info and said that the dinosaur was damaged in shipping. The head came off. They were able to repair it. However, they didn't believe it was secure enough to withstand multiple people climbing on it, and they would have had to keep somebody there to keep repairing it the whole weekend. So they just had to shut it down. They were able to repair it enough so that it stayed stable throughout the con, but not stable enough for people to climb on it.
Oh,
So
nice.
that was what
I got
happened.
Pelucranos.
What is that? What'd you get?
I got Pelucranos and Renata as
Mm,
those constellations.
cool.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, Andy, I was like, there was just too much cake on the internet from the last time we weren't allowed to ride the
It's
last time we
interesting.
were allowed to ride the dino. But now they were like, no, no, we wanted people to be able to ride it, but alas, like it just was damaged and they I guess couldn't fix it in time or couldn't fix it enough. So that's the story.
Ooh, brainstorm.
Ooh, Mishodum got a Shieldred and a Lotus Petal.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
so I tweeted Andy said Andy played 23 games in Minneapolis, a Commander
What?
Fiend. Yeah, I am siding with what Shivam posted, that I tend to be the person who doesn't play any games at conventions. I played 2 games the whole weekend. Um, I would have liked to play more, but I also feel like there's so much to see and do at conventions that I really like to maximize my time doing things that I wouldn't normally be able to do, like seeing the panels and like visiting the artists and going to the events and things like that. Plus as invited content creators, because I did the creator booth and the MTG arena, I was given a lot of stuff to give out to people, which was really cool. So I was like a
That was
code
fun.
fairy or a pack fairy, and Wizards of the Coast gave creators who were at the booths or whatever like boxes of cards or merch. I was given a stack of secret layers at one point to just randomly give out to people. Um and that was really fun. So when I had a little bit of I didn't have to pressure to do it at any time or for a certain amount of time. It was just like, here, give these out whenever you want. So whenever I was like walking around the con or just browsing, I would just hand them out to random people. And it was really, really exciting and fulfilling to see them like, what? Oh my God, like confused, like, why are you giving me this? And it's like, hey, I like your outfit, have a pack, or like, hey, duke it out. You guys are playing a game, duke it out for this pack, like, and just hand stuff out to people. It was really, really fun. And seeing like the look on people's faces when we gave them like something special, like a secret layer. Um, so that I spent a lot of my time doing stuff like that, like either at the MTG Arena booth, the content creator corner, or doing pack fairy things or going to like the panels, events. I did do the game nights live, which is quite long. It's like 3 hours. But it's like my Super Bowl. I'm always so excited to see like the game nights live panel. That for me is like a must do.
So I gave my partner my other collector booster, and he opened um this companion, the fox,
Oh, cool.
and then this it's Holly,
Cool.
with the gold coin,
Yeah, yeah.
and the invocation, and it's a hollow foil, which you can't really see it on this camera too well.
Andy says, I wish I had gone over there to grab some things. I was running around getting games with people despite having the creator badge. That was my one regret. I feel like the thing about cons is that there's so much time, but the time goes by so quickly and you just
Oh,
never know
so
how to
bad.
maximize your time there. I think The
Not
con also felt like it closed really early. Like on Friday, it closed at like 7 p.m. I thought it was gonna close at like 9, and I felt like we had more
I think
time.
free play was open all night
Yeah, the free
or
play was
until like
probably open later, but the main portion of the con closed so early, and I think a lot of people started to leave at that point. So I would have gotten in like a later game if I didn't have like dinner plans or anything like that. Like I would have gotten in like a game after game nights. But after game nights was done, we did a couple like last things, and then we decided to go back to our room. Friday it rained. So we didn't really want to be like out and about um wandering
oh these are
because it was really crappy weather. So we had bought a bunch of food and stuff like for the room because we had a fridge in the room, and we just decided we didn't want to let any of that go to waste, so we were going to eat in on Friday in our room, and then we were going to go out. The original plan was to like go out dancing, but then the place we wanted to go to had a pretty high cover charge, and it was also such shitty weather that we were like, do we want to be like walking around in this mess trying to like look nice and stay put together? So we inevitably decided against dancing, and then we ended up lobby conning. No,
yeah, we did like an hour lobby con.
yeah, we walked over to the Hyatt and did some late night lobby conning with some of our friends there, and then Saturday we got in a bunch of games. We did like Command Zone stuff first thing. We walked in, did
Yeah,
Command Zone.
Saturday was when I did the Infinity pod.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Um, oh, it was the most fun I've ever had playing Magic, no doubt. Um,
So for anybody who doesn't know, Anna loves the unset and has been building all of the uncommanders as budget builds, $50 or under. And she brought with her 4 of her Infinity decks, and she started a pod of only her decks. So every person played one of her decks against each other, essentially.
yeah, and it just was the exact amount of fun and chaos that I always wanted in like an uncommander pod. The commanders were the most dangerous gamer. I was playing Ambassador Bloopity Blorp Boop. Next to me was Claire de Lune, and then across from me was Myra Attractions. And we had everything. We were making tokens. We were doing all the attractions. We were doing all the stickers, all the craziness. We were even venturing into dungeons. And then at one point, we needed to ask for people outside of the game to like do the attraction because it's like find a player outside the game to like do this. And I was like, it'd be really fun if I could like give them something for doing this. So I went up to the hey, CMP, welcome in. We're talking about our trip. You came just in time. So I went up to the influencer manager and I was like, hey, I'm doing this thing where I'm inviting people outside the game to like help out with the game. Can I give them like packs or something? She's like, oh my God, of course. And starts handing me like collector packs and like random packs to give out. And it was amazing. Like I felt
Yeah.
so supported and like being able to like really put on a show for people. And I made it a whole thing. Like I would invite someone in, they would help us do an attraction, and then when they were done, I was like, "Thanks for going to the carnival. Here's your prize," and like surprise them with like a collector pack just for like solving the attraction with us, and it was so fun. And when I
Yeah.
told her that, she was like, "This is so fun," and like I'm gonna reach back out to her because maybe we can like I can do that again in Vegas, like with
Yeah, like
even
have
more
like a
prizes.
booth or something where like you just
Yeah,
run that, Cuz that
yeah.
was really fulfilling. I will say before we go on to talking about like other days and other events, I will say that I did feel really supported by not only by Wizards, but I felt really valued, really appreciated. I felt like my time was important. I felt like
Yeah,
everything was really run um on schedule, and I felt like they didn't ignore me. They gave me the right amount of attention and support, and they were really, really, really generous with product. They never said no. They were just like, here, have this product, give this out. Do you need more? Do you need, if at any point, even if you're not scheduled to be at this booth, come back and get product. We'll give it to you to give out. It was like they just were really, really supportive and really generous with the product. So they wanted to make sure that our experience was valued as creators and that we were seen throughout the event, and they made efforts to post our names and faces on their official pages. We found our pictures on their Facebook, we found our pictures on their Twitter, both on the arena page and the Wizards Magic page, which is huge for
Yeah,
especially
in
like
the
smaller creators, that our
in the
names and
Magic
faces are
Arena
there.
update, there's a photo of us. We're in the update.
Where? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it was posted in our the Top Deck Discord. I can send it to you.
Oh my god, send it to me. Yes. Ah, that's so cool. That's so exciting. Like,
Yeah, the Magic the Gathering arena announcements for May 8th. We were in that. I'm texting it to you right now.
oh my god. That's so cool. Like, see, those are like huge things for newer creators, like that exposure. They really went above and beyond for us, and I in turn wanted to do more for them. So I found
Yeah.
myself going to the creator booth frequently, even just to say hi or to say, hey, can I help with anything? Is there anything I could do if I had a bit of downtime? And I loved giving out packs, and it makes the con experience not only better for us, but for the con goers, the folks
Yeah,
that
we were
are
giving packs with
not.
little kids, and just the look on their
Yeah.
face was so fun.
Yeah, like packs to kids, packs to folks that, like I tried to give packs to people that I saw like really having a good time, smiling, people in costume, people that were enthusiastic about their games, or some crazy thing was happening.
Saw
Packs
some
to
people
people.
who were like, I kind of like saw some of the opposite. I saw some people who were like walking on their own, or like looking a little
Yeah.
nervous or like anxious, and I was like, "Oh, here's a pack," and they were like, "Oh my god, this made my day!" Like,
I will say though, I had one interaction where I gave a guy one of the secret layers, because that obviously, like, as far as packs go, we were given like whole boxes to give away, one at a time to people. But obviously the secret layers are higher value, so I only got like a handful of them. So I had to be really careful with like who I gave them out to. I was a little bit more deliberate in my choices, and I was walking through the con, and the game nights booth was like in a corner space, so it was against an aisle where folks were walking through, and it was just in front of the main stage and just to the side of the artist area. So like the artist areas were to the left, the game nights booth was here, the main stage was here, and there was like a pathway next to the game nights booth. So I was walking down this pathway, and the line was snaking to meet Lady Danger. And because Lady's a friend of ours, I didn't want to stand in the line or interrupt, but I made eye contact with her and kind of just gave her a wave, and she like gave me a wave, and her handler was there, and I know him very well, so I had a little chat with him for a second, and I was like, okay, see ya. And then somebody on the line recognized me from an episode of something that I had been on, and he was so excited to see me, and I was so shocked by that. He was like, oh my god, you're Ron, you were on the show and you played this deck, and I built a deck because you played this deck. And like, he was so
aw.
excited. He was so excited to see me, and he was with somebody else in line, and he was like, do you mind if we take a picture together? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And he goes under the rope, like he's in line to meet Lady Danger, and he goes under the rope to take a picture with me, and
Aw.
he asked, he was like, can we hard style? And I'm like, yeah, let's hard style. So like, we get on the floor and we're like, we do our picture. And he was like, oh man, it was so nice to meet you. Thank you so much. And I was like, here, have a secret layer. Like, thanks for recognizing me. Thanks for calling me out. This was a really genuine interaction. I really appreciate you. And he, like, I handed him the secret layer, and he was like, what? And it was Olivia. It was funny. It was Olivia Prima secret layer, and she happened to be on the stage across from us talking about her art. And I was like, "Oh, it's Livia Prima. She's right there. When she's done, you can have it signed." He's like, "No, you don't understand. I love her. I commissioned an artist proof from her. Like, I have to go to her booth." And he's like, "She's one of my favorites. Oh my God." And he's like, "You're serious? I could just have this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, have it. Enjoy." And it was like such a like heartwarming, crazy experience. I was
Aw.
like, "Oh my God, does this happen to people all the time? Because this is amazing. What is this life I wanted?" Like, it was just so nice. It was so cool to see. And like, I was approached by several people saying that like they built decks because of a deck that I had. And that was really satisfying. That was so cool.
We love that.
Yeah. So that was really an experience that like I really enjoyed from handing stuff out, getting to meet people, being in the crowd, and like being talking to Wizards employees about like what we could do, and they were so concerned about what they could do for us, and we were like, well, we're here to work, so like what do you need us to do? Like, we're here for you. And they're like, well, what can we do to support you? Like they just were so easy to work with,
Mhm.
and it was a really great experience. And I've done many cons. Like, I've done Gen Con, I've done Command Fest as, as a guest or an invited creator. I've done like SCG cons as a paid guest. And I've never seen creators have this kind of experience, or
400.
like or lower creators who aren't like on the main stage, essentially. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I've never had smaller creators have this kind of experience. So I think they really are ramping up that appreciation of smaller creators and like building people up. Um I did Andy says, "I got stopped at the elevator in my hotel on the sidewalk by people that recognized me. I was like, I cannot believe people actually know who I am as a small creator." Yeah, it's been happening more and more. I think the more events I appear at, people are recognizing me. What's really funny is on my Nitpicking Nerds episode, there was a group that I used to play with when I was first learning. Like, I knew zero. They were one of the first people to help me, but they stopped hosting commander nights because the wife was pregnant, and as she got more along in her pregnancy, she couldn't host so many people over anymore. So I stopped going there, and then I got into content creation, and I started playing with other folks, right? So I don't get to talk to them very often anymore. But they apparently watch Nitpicking Nerds, and they commented on the video, and they were like, "Oh my God, I remember like a year ago teaching Ron how to play Commander in my kitchen table." And she's on one of my favorite shows. And I'm like,
Aw.
isn't it wild? you know? So yeah, it's really funny like when things like that kind of align, and when you see um people recognize you from different places. It is really
What's
super
deluxe
cool.
Pocky?
What's that?
CMP is telling me to go for the deluxe Pocky, but I just got the normal Pocky. Am I missing out?
Oh shoot, deluxe Pocky. I didn't even know about that either. um yeah, I feel like they really did a lot for us this event, and they
Okay.
continue to do so. So that's
Yeah.
good.
But yeah, then Friday night we did hotel dinner.
Hotel dinner. We
Saturday,
spent time with Bert. Um, the pod. He's at the pod MTG. He also writes for EDH Rec, so he's one of our good friends and biggest supporters. And we spent some really good quality time with Bert. And just went back to the hotel and like ate and chilled and talked. And then Ryan joined us back at the hotel as well. And then we inevitably lobby conned afterwards.
oh yeah, we're already on Saturday because we just talked about the unpod. And then after the unpod, we had our creator booth time. And they were like, you can do whatever you want with the space. So Ron had out stickers and her play mats. And then I just kind of laid out the packs in front of me and I posted on Twitter, like, oh, come take a selfie with us and like tag us and post it on Twitter and we'll give you a free pack. And everyone loved it. And
Yeah, our booth
I
was
don't know
super
if it was
busy.
because of Saturday and it was like so busy in the free play area, but we just like constantly had a line and we went over. Oh no, I just Broke my pocky. We went over by we went over by 20 minutes.
Yeah, they
And
gave
like
an hour in between each creator booth just in case we had, anyone had overage. And we were very fortunate enough that enough people came to our booth that we did go over by 20 minutes. We probably could have stayed there longer, but we wanted to make moves. We wanted to go to the cosplay contest, which started at 5. And our creator corner was supposed to be until 4:30, and we ran until like 4:50. And the only reason we left was because we wanted to make it to the cosplay contest, which was already packed. Like, we barely got a seat.
yeah.
Welcome in. Thank you for subbing. Oh my goodness, for subbing for 2 months. Sonic Spork. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Aw.
I appreciate you so much. So before we get into the cosplay contest, because that is super exciting and there's a lot to talk about in that. Yeah, our creator spot, I had a bunch of stickers out, and my stickers became renowned far and wide. So I have this one sticker that's glittery, and it says my butthole's tight because I play mono white. And apparently people had been hearing about it and seeing it on other people's quivers or like binders, and they're like, oh my god, where'd you get it? Oh my god, where'd you get it? And they're like, a girl named Ron, you have to find her. So people literally started following me and trying to find me throughout the con just for my butthole sticker, which is like, if that's my claim to fame, I will take it. I'm happy to announce that the most famous thing I did at this convention was create a sticker about my butthole. You're welcome. So people approached our booth a lot for the butthole sticker. I'm pretty proud of that. And now I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt because why not? But yeah, that the
Yes.
creator corner was like amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better turnout and a better experience. It went really well.
Yes. It was the highlight of Saturday. Or second highlight. It was overall a great weekend. I say that about everything.
I mean, okay, so I don't want to be like the content creator optimist or whatever, like, oh, we were hired to be there, so we have to say nice things. We don't. If we didn't
No.
have a good experience, we're more than able and capable and willing to say it wasn't a great experience. You know what I mean? I can say with confidence, I had fun at every single event. I had fun at Vegas, I had fun at Philly, and I had fun at Minneapolis. But now that we have previous ones to judge against, Minneapolis has been the best one so far. They've improved things every single con. To be honest, I had a good time at Philly, but it wasn't my favorite. I felt myself missing home. I wanted to, like, I was over it faster. I didn't really love the layout. I felt really disconnected. I didn't get quality time with people. Like,
Yeah.
Philly was my least favorite of all of them. Did I still have fun? Yeah, because I like magic and I like the things that I do at conventions. So, like, no matter what, a
Exactly.
convention is going to be fun. But there was a feeling there that was like, it was a downer. It was an anxiety. There was something in Philly that just felt off for me. And I can't quite pinpoint exactly what it was, but I think it was the layout. I think it was like the the pricing and the command zone and who's allowed in and who's not, and it just felt very like disjointed and unorganized.
Yeah,
And
they opened up the whole command zone this time, and
yeah.
I was like, because I knew like in Vegas and Philly, I was like, they can do the command zone and not put a price tag on it. They should be able to still have judges going around making pods for people and not have a $75 price tag. That's exactly what they did for Minneapolis. There was no like little lines, like no enter exit here. It was all open. You could just go up to a judge and be like, I'm looking for a casual pod, and they'll help
Mhm.
you find a pod.
It was
And
just
sit
really
down.
overall organized. Oh, and one thing I was about to say about the creator corner, um, that a lot of folks don't know. So this is a little bit of behind the scenes tea as well. I had a conversation with Diana, who was one of the lovely folks in charge of the creator corner, organizing it, making sure it ran smoothly, and potentially being the one involved in choosing the creators that got chosen. I know that for this time in Minneapolis, the
Barley,
selection
welcome.
process was a little bit more tight. They didn't accept as many creators as they had previously. And I know some folks did get denied for the creator badge. So I know they weren't quite as liberal with the creator badges this time as they were last time. I had a conversation with Diana, and I thanked her. I expressed my gratitude for her putting her trust in me. I said, I know I'm a newer creator. I know I have a smaller following, and there were people that you could have chosen above me that have a bigger reach. So I really appreciate you putting your faith and trust in me. And she told me, I watched every single person's content. I looked at every application and I watched some of everybody's content to make sure that I liked who I picked. And she's like, "You're here because I like what you do." And she said things about me that made me know that that was true. Like she said, "You don't take any shit from anybody on the internet. I love that. Like you do this, you do that." She said things about me that let me know that she really did go in and watch my content. So, the fact that she did that, she went through extensive research in the selection process, and the people that got chosen were chosen because their content was valued. So, if you were a chosen content creator, just know that, you know, be validated that somebody really did lay eyes on your work and chose you because of your work. Um and who you are as a person. I
Yeah,
think
we also
that
weren't given badges to give away this
yeah,
time.
they didn't give away like guest badges. In Philly, the content creators were given 2 badges to give away to followers. We didn't get that this time around, but what we did get was far greater. The
Oh,
value
yeah.
of what we got was so much higher. And the quality of what we got was really high this time too. So I did want to say that was a little behind the scenes like confidence boost because we were chosen because of what we do. And that was nice to know.
Yeah. It was a little confidence boost to know that, like, she could have, like, just watched my vlogs and, like, it still blows my mind that one of my vlogs has over 1,000 views on YouTube already, and I'm so grateful, and I can't wait. I'm struggling to figure out how to, like, every time I put videos from my phone to my computer, it's such a hassle, and I still haven't figured out how to do it because I updated my computer from Windows, like, 11 to Windows 12 or something, and now, like, I can't figure it out. So I have stuff from DreamHack and now stuff from Minneapolis that I need to figure out how to get onto my computer, and it's not easy. It used to be like just select and then import and then delete after import, and now I have to like email it to myself or like upload it to the cloud like one at a time. And I don't have time for that. That takes like 5 hours. Use Discord to transfer files. Interesting. Um,
Um
did you get the cute to brute secret layer? I haven't, but I want it. I
I
don't buy secret layers. I can't afford it.
I did get it because it's really good value, and they often maintain their value pretty well. So I did get it this time. Um But Mishodom, yes, they are. I'm gonna go back. Zulu, the vendors were pretty. They were good. They were pretty standard. The same like major stores that you see often at the cons. But they also had a really big Magic Kids booth, and Magic Kids is often there. But now that Oathbreaker's been legalized, they've been playing Oathbreaker throughout the con. So they had a bigger booth set up with tables, and people were going there to learn how to play or to play some of their like standard decks because now they're selling standard deck packs of pre-built Oathbreaker decks, and so they had an open play area in the vendor spot, and they were selling standard decks. So that was a really cool addition. Was that they expanded the Magic Kids booth to also include if you don't know, Magic Kids donates boxes of bulk and playmats, dice, stuff like that to schools and programs so that kids can learn how to play Magic. It comes with the curriculum on how to teach them and everything like that. They are also the creators of Oathbreaker format. So that was a really cool new addition to their booth. But otherwise the booths were pretty standard. I wasn't looking for anything in particular, so I only shopped at, aside from like the pins, the collector pins that I was picking up for a friend, the Cool Stuff Inc. booth was the only place that I shopped for singles because I was looking for foreign language stuff and white border stuff. and I went to the artist to buy some artist proofs. So I have my artist proofs right here. I only stopped at a few places. I stopped at Ryan Pancoast, Evan Fong, Aaron Miller. I think that's it. So I didn't buy too much in terms of artist proofs, but I did make some purchases there. I'm going down the list of comments. I got the Cute to Brute because I can't help myself.
It was really cute. I really love that one land that, like, turns into a demon because
Yeah,
I'm like,
the
that's totally,
rainbow.
like, my personality, like, the 2 sides of my personality. But
Ishodum says, "I'm glad they're putting more effort into the content creator process. They really are, and
mhm,
their team working on that is excellent." So, I had a really positive experience with the team. This for sure was the best con of them all so far. So I have really high hopes for future cons.
I agree.
Um, do you want to talk about the cosplay contest? We didn't talk about that.
Oh, yeah, the cosplay contest was amazing. We
Yeah.
had so many of our friends enter it, especially one of our, I don't know if I wanna say closest friend, but one of our sweetest friends, Misha, ended up winning the whole thing with her slime foot.
Yeah,
I
all
don't I actually only met her for the first time this past weekend, but we've, like, interacted on Twitter a bunch,
I met her
and she
several
actually
times and I had her on my stream. I actually
well,
it's
she was on our 12-hour stream too,
She
right?
was, yeah. So, a funny story, the way I started talking to Misha, I was hosting when Unfinity came out, I was hosting a sealed Unfinity pod all weekend long. So, I posted, I'm looking for folks who are buying an Unfinity box. Keep it sealed until our game. We'll crack the box open live and build a commander deck from only the cards within that box using any basic lands and then playing it afterwards on stream. So each game ended up being like 3 hours because we had like an hour to crack the packs and maybe half an hour to build and then an hour and a half to build and then an hour and a half to play. Um and I didn't know Misha at the time, and I am reluctant to have people that I don't know on stream because you don't know how salty somebody's going to get or if they're going to really interact well with your guests. And this is an entertainment, and you are putting on um entertainment for viewers, and you want to make sure that you have a nice experience for the people viewing. So, it's really difficult for creators to have on strangers when you don't know how they're going to interact. But I took a risk and I had her on, and she was so lovely and so professional. She's very well spoken and entertaining and just so sweet. And it was one of my favorite spell table games I've ever had. I was so impressed with Misha and I just really instantly loved her. So I'm not quick to follow folks back. I like to take my time to get to know somebody and make sure that I know what you're about and what your content is, and that I align with your views before I follow somebody back and sort of give my vote of confidence to that person. But I followed her back and I was like, she's amazing. I really like her. And I've always considered her for like future pods. So when we were having our streamathon and she was interested in joining a pod, I was like, she's in. She's a darling. And we've met at several events, and I've been really supportive and enthusiastic about her ideas. She cosplayed Fibblethip one time and won Oktoberfest with it. And it was so hilarious. I love that she has like no shame. She doesn't have to cosplay like the prettiest or the sexiest or the cutest thing. She's like, I'm gonna fucking be Fibblethip. And I'm like, I fucking love you.
And this
So,
time she's like, "I'm gonna be Slimefoot."
yeah,
I really hope to get a lot closer to her because she's absolutely amazing, and I
she's a
did reach out to
darling.
her
She's
for, like,
amazing.
cosplay advice, yeah.
Yeah, so and she's so helpful and willing, to just she's been doing cosplay a long time, and she does a lot of other like animes and things like that, not just magic cosplay, but she's such a beautiful person. I was really impressed by her. So, as she was making because we had met several events, she's been messaging me updates on Slimefoot. So I've been seeing like the progress pictures and like her making all these tiny little mushrooms and like making the head and making the feet and like, you know, she was like sending me pictures throughout and I was like always like, "Oh my god, this is going to be so amazing." You know, like I never saw it all put together until the con, but I've been seeing the pieces little by little. And we had several friends in the cosplay contest. So we had Anna Margaret, Air Bubbles, we had who else was in it? There was somebody else, no?
I don't remember.
Oh man. Well, Misha as well. So we had several friends in it, several folks we knew, and there were some new competitors that we hadn't seen that were also very, you know, quite good.
Talia
So
was a judge. She wasn't
yeah,
actually in the contest. And Zebex works for Wizards now, so I don't think she can be in the cosplay
yeah,
contest.
Talia was a judge for it. Zebex was a hired, she was Atraxa, right? So
Oh, no, she
no, no,
was
no.
Vraska.
Vraska, I'm sorry. She was Vraska hired by Wizards to be Vraska throughout the event. So, the hired actors are scheduled to be places and they can't compete. They also tend to hire previous winners. So Dark Pact Cosplay won with the Ashaya costume at Vegas and is now hired by Wizards to do Elish Norn as an actor in the event. So they can't compete because they're hired and paid.
Yeah.
But yeah, several of our friends were in the contest and they all took you know, runner up or judge's prize, and there were some really really tough cosplays to go against. You know, there were some really super impressive cosplays. So once we saw that some of our more experienced friends and higher quality cosplayers were winning runner up and judge's prize, we were like, well, you know, who's gonna win it? Like, what's gonna happen, right? And we were filming like every prize winner, and I started recording obviously before they announced the winner, and they were like, okay, you know, best in show, blah blah blah, Magic Misha Migo, and we were like, ah! I think like the camera's like all shaking, and I'm like screaming, I'm like, ah! You know, like we just had this panic moment. We were so blown away that she won. It was so exciting. And then we saw her afterwards and she was so happy and we were like, "Oh my god." I'm like, "I knew her when," you know? Like so I hope that she does get hired by Wizards as well for contests because she's really deserving of it. She's such a good human.
Mm-hmm.
Vin says the Boo gauntlets were so cute. Yes, there was a guy who cosplayed Minskin Boo, and he did all the leather work on his outfit himself. He made gauntlets that he etched hamsters into the leather. So that was super cute, an amazing detail. And when he came out on stage, he pulled a stuffy hamster out of his pocket and yeeted it into the audience, and then we were like already laughing, right? We were like, "Oh, that's hilarious." And then he took out another one and yeeted it, and he did it like 3 times, and we were like, "How many fucking stuffies does he have?" And then he kept one for himself and he just like had it in his hand, and it was genius. It just like the presentation for me really did it. So,
Yeah, that was amazing.
that guy was awesome. He was super cool. That was a great costume. I think the people that won were really well deserving. There were a lot of beautiful costumes and I'm sure the judging process was really hard. But yeah, he was so good. What did we do after that?
So after the cosplay contest, we pretty much went back to
Oh,
the
that was the day
hotel
we did
Arbor.
everything. That was the day we
Because we're already at
That was
towards the
the
end of the
day.
con. We're Saturday night, so
Yeah, that was the day we did so much. I was like, what else
we
happened?
went back. We showered. We got dressed in our cute outfits, and we got invited to dinner with Zebex and like 17 other people, and they were like the nicest group of people. She put together a really nice dinner.
Yeah, and
With,
everybody
like,
was on
fun for
time and
people
everybody
and
paid their own
everything.
bills. It was really well organized.
It was so well organized, and the waitress did an amazing job.
Yeah.
It didn't feel packed. It didn't feel crowded. It was just a really good. I was nervous because I was like, this is gonna take hours, and it really did. It was like
It was
a
like
really
2
good dinner.
hours. It was like 2 hours. We got there at 7:30, and there was 18 of us, and we all got appetizers and mains, drinks, all that stuff, and it took about 2 hours. We were out by 9:30, and yeah, it was super well organized. We went to the Lowry, so if you're ever in the Minneapolis area, the
The
Lowry
Lowry is
was
like American food. They have really good brunch. Because I've been there before, and they do like chicken and waffles and like
yeah.
mimosa for like
So
brunch
we had
stuff.
gotten cheese curds for the table and they were excellent. And then
So
I
good.
got as a main the tuna poke is kind of like a sushi grade tuna with like these like crispy wonton chips as my main, and Anna got chicken, like chicken tenders, and then we shared the sweet potato fries, right? Sweet potato
Oh,
fries,
they were
did we say?
so good.
Yeah, they were really good. And it was a lot. It was very filling. It was a lot of food. But we had a really great conversation. And there was a ton of amazing people with us. Hey, welcome in. Thanks for following.
And then when we were in the hotel getting ready, all of the creators got an email saying that the Saturday party was open to
Oh
all of
my
us. Like,
God.
we just got invited.
Better late than never. So there was a party, a VIP party that I would imagine all of the main stage creators were already invited to. And then folks like ticket holders could purchase entrance to this party because it was open bar. So I think it was like $60 a person, and they had like small bite foods and open bar. And because Anna and I are paupers, we did not purchase tickets to this, and we were like, well, we'll have to find other plans, right? So we already made like a loose idea of what we wanted to do that night. But the event was supposed to be from 8 to midnight. Well, at like 7 p.m., we get this email that's like, yeah, you can go. All the people with creator badges can go. And we were like, okay, change of plans, because we already have 7:30, we have our dinner. We're not going to make it by 8 o'clock, but let's at least,
$70.
let's at least be grateful, show up, spend some time there. It closes at midnight. If we can get there from 10 to 12, let's do it. So we did that. The event ended up being insanely good. Like, we thought it was just
So
going to
much
be like a
fun.
bar, but it's not only a bar, but it's a brewery where you could actually see through the windows, like their in-house brewery, and they have like their own beers and their own stuff and like non-alcoholic stuff. They had full service bar as well for like cocktails, all that stuff. And it was 3 floors. So the main floor was like a bar. The second floor they had it set up as like pub style, but they had karaoke. And the third floor was this big open dance hall space with a DJ and an outdoor patio where you could look out into the city and get some fresh air. Like, it was just, you could do so much there, and there was just something for everybody, and there was enough space. Everybody had fun. All of our friends were there. And even though we were only there for 2 hours, I felt like I got like a really full night being there,
I
you
had
know?
3 drinks, which is way more than I normally drink, but it was open bar.
It was
And
open bar.
I
Yeah.
danced so hard because our Friday night dance plans got canceled because of the super high like entry fee. It was only like $15, but that's too much when you're poor.
It's
So
$15 plus the Ubers plus the drinks. Like, it just was it was going to be an expensive night Friday, and we decided to
yeah, we
just
decided against it. So I was really happy to hear that they had a dance party going on at this place.
yeah, so
It
we
was
got
so much fun.
super
Uh,
cute pictures. I did
yeah,
karaoke. Bobby Christine is in the chat. She did karaoke as well. So a bunch of us were Lady Danger did karaoke, Joe Johnson did karaoke, so Wizards employees did karaoke. Like, it just was, everybody was together and everybody was like vibing and having fun. Like, I went upstairs to dance for a while as well. Gavin Verhey was there dancing as
we had
well.
many dance circles where
Mini
just
dance circle.
everyone was dancing together.
Um, then because it ended at 12 and because we had had several drinks and we were like, the night is
Well,
young.
well, no. Well, we planned before we even went there. We were
Yeah.
like, we leave early on Sunday. Let's just go
Yeah.
out as late as we can on Saturday. So we did know in advance that we wanted Saturday to be a late night. So
We
it
did
wasn't just
know
because we were drunk. Like
we
I
did
wasn't
know
like
yes,
wasted. I was like just a little
me
tipsy and I
either.
was feeling it. I was like, it's our last night. We're leaving tomorrow. Like,
Me
let's just
either.
keep going.
Fair, like, we planned to go out. We planned I even said, "This event's over at 12, and where we wanna go after this is open till 2, so let's just do that. If it sucks, we'll stay there from 10 to 11 and leave early. If it's great, we'll stay there till 12." So it was great, we ended up staying till 12, and then we, had planned to go somewhere else afterwards, and we knew it was gonna be a late night, but because we had several drinks, we were really enthusiastic about continuing the night. We were like, "Yeah, this is so fun." You know, we were, like, already, like, on a high of, like, "Ah, this let's go out, let's do something." So, we met up with Gavin, who had wanted to go to some of these places. He was like, I have this goal." He has, because he's, like he has, like, a hype energy all the time, he's always so, like, on, and he's like, There's 2 places I really wanted to try while I was here, and I'm worried I won't get to try them both, but, like, I'm happy to bang them if you are." And I was like, "I'm happy to," and Anna's like, "I'm happy to." So he really
And
wanted to
Volstead
try
and
yeah,
Uptown.
he
And
really wanted to
Uptown is
try
where we
the
wanted to go originally. And I was like,
yeah.
well, I can bring you to Volstead's. I know where it is.
Yeah, so he wanted to go to the speakeasy, and which we did on Thursday, and he wanted to go to the arcade, which was the place we were already planning to go to. So, as it turns out perfectly, Volstead's and the arcade are across the street from each other, so we only had to take one Uber and there was no commute time in between them. Volstead's also closed early. Like they closed when we got there, they were doing like last call, and we were like, "Well, we just want to check it out. So, can we just sit here, order a drink and then we'll go?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." We caught the end of a live jazz show. We got to order our
I love
drink. Gavin
that.
got to try Volstead's, and then we immediately went across the street to Up Down, which was the barcade. So we got Gavin to see everything he wanted to see, and we got to do everything we wanted to do. But it was such a full night. When everybody asked us on Sunday, like, "What did you guys do this?" What did you guys do last night? We were like, "What didn't we do? We went to 4 places." Like, we
We
just
were
went
all
here,
over the
there.
city.
Yeah. It was one thing after the other. So, what was, your up-down experience? Because we separated an up-down.
It was fun. So Gavin and I first we played some pinball, and then there's not a Shanable, there's no password for the speakeasy, but you have to know what door to knock on, and then a little guy opens it up and he like looks in when he's like, how
Yeah,
many of
so it's you really, for real, no joke, go down, like, a dark, treacherous alley. Like, it looks like a murder hall, right? Like,
there's just
nothing
no lights.
nothing is marked. There's no signage. It's like
Nothing is marked. You just knock on a door.
you just have to know which alley to go down between buildings. You go down the alley as if you're going to the back, like to the dumpsters of whatever building you're in front of, right? Some
Uptown.
random building.
It's in like the back alley of the arcade.
And then there's like a steel door with no signage, no nothing, and you have to knock on it. And there's like a little guy, like in the Wizard of Oz, that opens a window and is like, "Who goes there?" And then you have to say like you want a table for whatever, and they let you in. So they're not really like, "Hello, welcome to Volstead's." They're like, "Yes." And then you're like, "I'd like a table." So there's no
How
password, but
many?
you just have to know where it is.
Yeah, and then they close the door and they're like, all right, one moment. And then they
Yeah.
close the door. They probably walkie-talkie the guy downstairs and like, there's 3 people waiting. And then like, okay, let them in. And then they let you in, they check your ID and they're like, all right, down the stairs. And you go down the stairs. It's like nothing fancy. And then you open the door and it's just like
Yeah, it's
the
very
fanciest
like
bar.
almost like a 20s or 30s bar. Like, it looks all decor with like wallpaper and art, and it's like a
Mhm.
jazz band playing, and like little wooden tables and things like that. But there's also like different rooms that you can go into. And the drinks are like super like classy, like Clutch Your Pearls, that kind of thing.
They were
So,
really cute. They have really cute glasses and all. Like you
yeah.
just need the one drink usually or 1 or 2. Like
Yeah.
you don't need to go crazy because they're like pretty strong.
It was just a vibe. Like, we just went there to have a drink, have a good conversation, try it out. So it was just Gavin, Anna, and I, and then we went to Up Down, and we expected to see a lot of people at Up Down because a lot of folks that were
I
at
told almost everyone to go to Uptown, but I guess everyone left early, and, like, it was
yeah,
1 AM by the time we got there, but we told everyone, like, "Yeah, we're gonna end the night at Uptown, like, go to Uptown,"
a
and
lot
no
of
one
the
was there.
folks said they were going. Even people that we didn't tell, people were like, "Oh yeah, Saturday night, the arcade, Saturday night, the arcade, Saturday night, the arcade." Like everybody was telling us that that's what they were doing. So when we got to Uptown, we expected to see people we knew, and it was full
Everyone
because it was
apologized,
Saturday
"Okay."
night. But we didn't know anybody there. It was just us. So we all, we kind of separated. We played the games that we wanted to play. We got some tokens, we did the thing, and then we left. We went back to our hotel super late. We closed it out, so it was like a 2 a.m. We just were
Yeah,
go
they
go
had
go on Saturday.
they had this old game, Killer Queen, that's only been out for a few years, but, of course, like, Gavin knew all about it, and it's, like, this very, like, niche there's, like, a really niche micro community around the game, and, like, I was one of the first people to play the game, and, like, I used to travel to play competitively, and I haven't played it in, like, 2 or 3 years, and, of course, Gavin knew what it was. So, we get there, and after a few rounds of pinball, I was like, "Alright, I'll play Killer Queen with you." So we get on the machine, and it's a 5-player versus 5-player game. And there was only like 6 of us playing, so I like hop on one side, Gavin hops on the other, and it was just really fun. And like, of course, I'm terrible at it because I haven't played it in so long, but it was kind of fun to just get on and play it again. And then we just did that until we tried to meet up with Ron, and we didn't.
So
I did not
yeah.
school him. No, he schooled me.
Yeah,
Who's Gavin?
it was a really fun night, and then I think we couldn't find each other at the end of the night, and like we connected, and we were like, I was like, I'm outside, and Anna was like, and Gavin were like, okay, we'll meet you there, and then I ordered an Uber, and the Uber got there like before they got there, and then I just had to get in it and go. So like I left, and I feel like I totally like Irished, like I just didn't even say I left because I had to get in the Uber, and they like we just didn't make it, but we were in I guess Uber's like 5 minutes from each other. So I got to the hotel and then Anna got there shortly after me.
Well,
Um
Gavin made sure I got there
yeah.
safe because Ron went by herself without telling us. And then we were nervous that she got lost, but she just made it safe. So Gavin, being the gentleman that he is, just like made sure that I got back to my hotel safe. Ryan was there to make sure that I got back safe. So it was just nice to like have, the guys just making sure that
Yeah.
at 2:30 in the morning that like I got home safe, and
The guys
it
were
was
super
just lovely.
attentive. Yeah, the guys were super attentive and mindful of us, which was really
Yeah,
nice. We were super well
I
cared
felt so
for.
safe.
Yeah, we were
I
super
always felt
safe,
safe.
well cared for
Sorry.
the whole yeah, we were super well cared for the whole weekend, and just we felt super safe and super like
Yeah.
well, like in good hands at all times. So that, and also Minneapolis just didn't feel like an unsafe city to me, you know what I mean? Like there are some times that you go to a major city like Philly and there's like some sketchy stuff going on near the convention center, but and like a lot of police activity and stuff like that, but Minneapolis didn't feel like that. It felt pretty like safe and homely to
I
me.
do have one I have one question here. Your friend opened a Slimefoot and Squee legendary creature. Any suggestions on how to build them? No, because I've never read the cards, but I would recommend typing them in on EDHREC, EDHREC.com, and that's like the best first spot to like do deck building. It shows you popular creatures and popular spells, and it gives you a bunch of other deck list options on how other people have built it, and that's a great first spot. We're not doing too much deck building tonight, but we do a lot of deck
Yeah.
building on the stream, and that is where we always start off our deck building search. So I really wanted to quickly point you in that direction so you can help your friend. Tell them that website. It's really great.
I also use a lot of Scryfall. So if you're looking for a specific thing, like an ability, or like I want a lot of cards that do this, right? To maximize the commander's ability. Like if you like I don't know off the top of my head what Slimefoot and Squee does, but like let's say that it cares about instants and sorceries or something, then you want to play a lot of those. So I go to scryfall.com and you can narrow by card type, card color, legal and commander. You can narrow by keyword search, like you want the card to say this thing, and then it'll show you only results of cards that um fit that description. So that's a good place to look as well.
Yeah. Well, that's Saturday. We only have one more day to talk about.
Oh my God, speaking of, Misha actually asked me if I was willing to be Squee for her slime foot. But I said that because I was supposed to work with Sheldon, I was like, I can't commit to being in costume because half of the day I am paid to do a job.
Oh no.
And then I ended up not having to do the job, but that was, canceled days before. So I wouldn't have had time to make the costume or anything like that. But we had talked about potentially being Squee, which would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
So Sunday
was so hard to get out of bed.
yeah, we really slept in hard, which is okay. I had to be at the MTG Arena booth at 11 and we had to check out. So we had to wake up and pack. I had started packing the night before, but of course all my toiletries and things like that. Like Sunday, I weirdly was not hungover. I thought I was going to be, and I wasn't,
Yeah,
which
no hangover.
was really a shock to me, but because I just can't
I
drink
stay
anymore.
hydrated.
But yeah,
I
I was
drink
not
water.
hungover. That was great. And then I I think I woke up at like 10 or 9:30 or something, and then packed as quickly as I could,
You
showered,
started
got
packing
ready.
before I got out of bed. Like I
Yeah.
heard you, I felt you get up. And when I saw you up and packing, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, because I had to be at that arena booth at 11 and I did not want to be late, or inconsiderate of anybody's time or my professional obligations. So I did not if you wanted to sleep in, you could have done that, but I would have had to leave. Like I could not,
Yeah, no, I wanted
could
to
not be
get
late
up,
to that.
but yeah,
So
it
I
was,
think I love how it's like we woke up at 9:30. I really slept in, like that's hardly sleeping in, but it felt like it, it felt like I had planned on getting up earlier, but like just couldn't make that
yeah.
happen. Welcome in. Thanks
Hmm.
for following. We're talking about Magic Con. We're on our last day. So yeah, I woke up, packed, showered, got ready really fast, and I made it to the arena booth at 11 for my spot, which was great. So we had a great time doing that. So what did you do with your morning while I was at the arena booth?
Nothing. I had no energy. I didn't play a single game on Sunday. I almost didn't talk to anyone. Right behind the creator booth, they had those love sack beanie bag chairs.
Oh,
And I
yes.
sat in one for like 40 minutes, just like on my phone because I couldn't. I was so tired. But then like once Ron was done with her obligation, I like got up and I was like trying to walk around, and then we agreed to be pack fairies again, and we like gave out arena codes and some more packs to people. And it was just a lot of like goodbyes and
Yeah.
like catching up before we left.
We did our
And
last laps, looked for all our friends. We spent some time at the creator booth, and then they told us that we can give out some more packs, and we had to leave by 3:00. Our flight was at 5:30, and we had to walk to our hotel, get our bags, Uber to the airport, and then make our flight. But we actually had tons of time. Like it doesn't sound like a lot of time, but we got to the airport so
I wanted to get
early.
there a little early because I got so nervous.
Yeah, we
And we
got to the
probably could have.
airport so early that we had a full hour to just eat. Like we sat down and ate, which I like never do at the airport because
I
I'm
would rather
chronically
be
late
an
to
hour
everything.
early than have to buy new flights because we missed it.
I've
So
never
we got
missed a
good
flight
service.
yet, but I am chronically like tardy for the party. So, and I know that makes other people really nervous, like they're like, "Oh my God," like they're freaking out and I'm like, "It's fine." Like cuz I just like am so whatever about travel. Like my mom is very frantic. She's not a nervous flyer cuz she's flown a bunch of times. She doesn't like turbulence. She does get nervous in turbulence, but like
Mm.
she's not a nervous flyer, but she's like a nervous Nelly, period. Like she's always like, "Oh my God, we only have 3 hours left. We have to leave now." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Like, chill." And she's like, "I don't know who you take after." Cause like she calls me lazy because I don't want to leave like early. And I'm like, I'm hardly lazy. I literally have like 4 careers, but like, it's like, Mom, you're overreacting. Chill. So,
Yeah, I
but my
did get a little
mom,
bit anxious on the flight back. I think I took a Dramamine at the hotel when we ordered our lift, and then I took one melatonin gummy as we were boarding. And like I felt fine all the way up until we started taking off. And I just like shut down. I closed my eyes and I like literally leaned on Ron for like an hour. Just like so still because I was like, like I was feeling tense and like my fingers were like my hands were kind of becoming numb and like I was getting heat sweats and cold sweats and it just wasn't fun
and
for
she's
me.
like, "Can I lean on you?" I'm like, "Yes, silly Billy." So, but
I
yeah,
was like,
the
I'm so embarrassed because like I get anxious
no,
on flights and I had to warn Ron. I'm like, I'm sorry if anything happens, but like the worst thing that happened was I just laid on her
the
and it was like
the
I don't shake and compulse when I'm anxious. It's like I shut down and I'm still and I need to like breathe and not move and not talk and I'm very quiet and it looks like I'm sleeping, but I am having a panic attack.
I almost all of my friends are nervous flyers. So I know that I am the oddball here by not being a nervous flyer, but
Yeah.
I'm also like people tell me that I'm a calming presence because they feel better seeing that I'm not freaking out. You know, like it doesn't stop people from feeling anxious, obviously, but like some folks feel like, "Oh, okay, well, Ron's fine, so everything's fine." You know what I mean? Like some folks are not so are made to feel a little bit more at ease because I'm calm. Um
Yeah.
and I don't mind, like just because I'm not freaking out doesn't mean like I care that my friends are, like if my friends are feeling anxious, I'm like, just tell me and what can I do to help you? Like, what do you need?
For me it
You
was
know?
just all I needed was to be able to lay on you and it
Yeah.
was fine.
I was like, I'm
And, like,
happy to
it
be
passed
there.
after, like, 45 minutes, it went away, and I was
Yeah.
able to, like, talk like normal, and I had a normal flight, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna expect a lot of turbulence when we land," and I just said, "Oh, shit," and Ron was like, "It's gonna be fine."
Yeah, I was
And
just
there
like, it's
wasn't a lot of
fine.
turbulence, it was totally fine.
I'm glad. I'm glad that you were easy about it,
Yeah. And then
Um
Ron bought me a donut.
Yeah, I bought her a donut and a refresher after our flight. It was like a well-deserved treat after our trip, you know? Um, but Sunday was a super chill day. We didn't have really anything on the agenda and except for the arena booth, which I did from like 11 to 12:30ish or so. We went back to the creator corner to say goodbye to friends, say goodbye to the Wizards employees. They gave us more product to hand out, and we just did a couple more laps around the con saying goodbye to folks and handing out products. And that's how we ended our con, which was like great. It was the perfect end to Sunday. And by that time, by like 2 o'clock on Sunday, you could really feel things start to wind down. A lot of people started leaving. You could feel like the energy was starting to, it was less hype, and there were less panels and things to do. So by then everything was kind of on its end. So we did a couple laps around, made sure that we got everything we wanted out of the event, and then we went back to our hotel, got our stuff, went to the airport, flew home. And it just was pretty smooth and easy. I did get out
Yeah.
all of my artist proofs. I forgot I also went to Justine Jones. So I'm
Yeah, yeah.
happy to share the artist proofs that I got. Also, there was at the arena booth, um folks could play an arena game, and if they won or whatever, they could go to a binder full of cards that were like mythics and rares, and they had 45 seconds to go through the binder and choose a card. And they had to choose it within the 45 seconds. They couldn't If they went over, they got nothing, basically. So like they had to they set a timer, and then these people were like going through the binder trying to like pick the card they wanted, and the guy was like, 15 seconds, 10 seconds, and they were picking cards from that binder, so that was fun. And then somebody over there, I guess like they were picking cards and cracking packs or whatever. They knew I played white, so they gifted me a little mana tithe, which was nice. Because
Cute.
yeah, they were like, "Hey, you play white, you want this mana tithe?" And I was like, "Sure do." So I took it. But I'm gonna share with you some of my artist proofs because I'm super excited about them. Ryan Pancoast had the most artist proofs that I play. But I did buy 3 from Justine Jones. I bought this Selfless Spirit. I'll show it on both cameras so both streams can see
Atria,
it.
hello.
So I bought this Selfless
yeah.
Spirit. It's an artist proof, and she signed it for me at the bottom. And I bought this Ganex, which was a hard choice because I also shopped with Aaron Miller, and he also had a version of Ganex. But I play Ganex in my Joda deck, so I got this version from Justine Jones for that deck. And because that deck is all dragons, I also got her metal dragon token. It's like a
Nice.
shiny metal dragon token for that deck. And then from Ryan Pancoast, I got a Joda.
Oh,
So that is a little Joda artist
nice.
proof. So that will go in my Joda deck. I bought the most from Ryan Pancoast because I had never shopped with him before, and he had a lot of stuff that I play. So he had this gorgeous extended foil Linden.
And you got a
And
lot of like $5 and $10 ones too, right?
Yep. I got this Jetmir. I play Jetmir in my Rin Seri deck. So I got this Jetmir. I made an Urtet deck, and I also play some mirrors in Traxos. So I got this Brass Squire one
Yeah.
and this mirror token, which is cool to have like an artist proof of a token.
It is.
I got a Bar the Door, which I play in E Honda. It gives all your creatures big butts. It says creatures you control get +0/+4 until the end of turn, and E Honda makes all your creatures attack with their toughness.
E Honda is so gross.
Yeah. So Bar the Door is a card that I'm very familiar with because it's in my E Honda deck and it puts in work. I love when that instant comes up. So
Really?
being able to find this artist proof was like super cool for me because like while anybody might overlook it in his binder, it's a card that I play a lot. So it was cool. I needed to get it. And then these 3 are just cards that I know I'll play because they're white and they're useful. So I got the Archon of Ameria in the foil. I got the Angel of Destiny. I play this in multiple decks. And Ranger of Eos in the foil as well. And the last card I got from Ryan Pancoast is Negate. A foil Negate.
Nice.
Yeah, because that's pretty useful. We can play it in Commander and PEDH. So all of his cards were cards that I play and just super useful buys. I got 1 card from Evelyn Fong. And it was this old border shiny foil Soul Snare. Trying to get
Oh,
it
Soul
to
Snare is a great card art.
trying to
Yeah.
get it to focus with the blur background, but because it's a weird finish, but I could turn off the blur on my end. Oh, let's go to my Discord. Where's the mouse? Here it is. I gotta move this. Be responsible. Wow! I didn't mean to do that. You're gonna see my mess behind me because I haven't fully unpacked yet like Anna has.
I've unpacked, I did all my laundry, I cleaned my room, made the bed.
Okay, I think that Took it off. That should be good now. Okay. So this is the soul snare.
Nice.
It's the only one I got from her. She had less of an option, but I went to her like on Sunday or like one of the last days, and I was like, I'm fucking poor. I can only afford to get one card from you, but it was a good card and it's useful. And the last but not least, the cards I got from Aaron Miller. I bought a lot of his white cards already. So this time I only got 2 white cards and 3 blue cards. So I got a Sunblade Samurai in foil. I got a Valkyrie's Sword. I got Stratus Walk. Totally Lost. Little baby.
Little Philip. I like to call him Philip.
Philip. Little Philip.
Little
And
Philip.
Reflections of Litjara.
Ooh.
So
That's
Aaron,
pretty.
yeah, it's super pretty and really useful and just a stunning card. So Aaron Miller had like a judge promo
Enlightened
foil
tutor.
judge promo foil enlightened tutor artist proof, and they were $400, and I would have sold my butthole to get one, literally, because like he was like, oh, I only have like 3 left, and I'm like, I want one so bad, but I really cannot justify a $400 spend. Like, that's a plane ticket to an event, you know, that's something. It's just too much. I couldn't justify it in a card, and I know that once they're gone, and it really, like, it killed me to have to pass on it, but that was just a spend that I could not afford, and I had to make wise choices, and I chose to let it go. But I looked at it for a really long time, and I was like, "Oh, this kills me." but alas, I made good choices.
Good.
What
Right.
were some of the cards you got, Anna?
I didn't really buy any singles.
You
I
bought the
just
ones from the bulk box.
I don't know, I got some bulk, but then like I got my favorite was Savor the Moment.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And then Soul's Majesty. And then I just got a bunch of like 50-cent cards.
Sweet. Well, are you going to bed? Are you staying up?
That's a good question. We're almost done, so
We are almost done, but I'm happy to, if you're going to bed, I'm happy to stay on because I have this box of foreign language cards that I want to go through. So I want to make sure that I go through them because Vin is here, and I want to make sure that Vin sees me go through my cards.
hell yeah. Well, I'll do a little outro. It was fun hanging out with you and talking about our Magic recap.
I know, I miss you already. Can we like hang out?
Yeah. Yeah, I do miss you already, but let's hang out. Thank you all for watching my first just chatting stream where all we did was talk.
Yeah.
I'm so glad so many of y'all showed up. It was really great to share our experience with all of you. And
Yeah, that was super
I'm going to try
awesome.
really hard to have my vlog up soon for Minneapolis. I will first be making some like TikTok shorts for it because I've been learning how to use TikTok more. So I will be putting stuff up there first. And then the vlogs take a little longer, so then they'll be put up on YouTube. And yeah, I don't know exactly when I'm going to go live next, but probably in the next day or two. And yeah.
I will be I'm gonna continue streaming, so if you want to raid into
Yeah,
me.
we're gonna raid into Ron. So either go to her stream now or just chill out until we get there because I'm just gonna raid into you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through this box, and then I'll be done after that. But I will also be streaming tomorrow with Astrals. Astrals is really adamant about playing Jund on Arena, so Astrals is going to help me build a Jund deck on Arena and play some Arena shenanigans. So if you want to check that out, we'll be doing that tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. at Eastern.
Very nice, very nice. Well, thank you all again for hanging out, and let's go ahead and raid Raw for the night. Start raid. I'll hopefully be going to the summit at Tria. I think the summit is one of the ones because I think Top Deck is getting a booth for that.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I would love to do Summit as well because it's a weekend that I happen to already be off of work. So if I fly
mhm.
in Wednesday night after work, I'm already off Thursday and Friday, and like I don't have to take any days off or anything. It worked out perfectly last year. So
Mhm. But yeah, I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.
oh my god, Anna MT 1992 is rating. Thanks for team streaming with me again, Anna. Text me tomorrow.
Always.
I miss you already,
I'll
baby.
see you tomorrow. Goodbye, Ron's chat.
Bye. Oh my god, the gamers are here. What's up? Okay, I have to put back my other camera because I was using the Discord one. So let me put that back. Was this the one? Yeah. Holy Spirit, activate. This one. No, let me not delete the wrong ones. Okay, that one. Delete Discord. Come on. I love it when technology fails me. This is fun. What's happening? Why don't you love me anymore? Let's add another one just because. Every time I switch from like Discord to just OBS, it like doesn't want to do it unless you restart OBS, and then it's a pain in the butt to get it to work without having to stop stream. I don't want to stop stream, so it would be like super cool if you just work. Let me try to. Hey JJ, it was super nice meeting you too. Have a good night. Take care. Magic Summit in Salt Lake City was in November. Yeah. I'm going to turn off my camera and turn it back on, and hopefully maybe OBS will recognize it as a new thing. Time has no meaning. Yeah, Summit was November. I actually just wrote out, I don't have my work bag with me, but at work I wrote out all of the events that like I want to go to. And all right, let's try this again. I wrote out all of the events I want to go to, and there's just so many. There's like Command Fest coming up, and then Barcelona. Ah, I did it. Okay, I just have to move this. There we go. Fixed it. Starting it over worked. Okay. So, Command Fest, that's in June. There is a filming for something for Tabletop Jocks in LA at the end of June. They have an annual cookout and I'm invited to it this year. So it will be the end of June. Well, like it's like the 20 something, so like endish of June. Um my last day of the school year is supposed to be June 23rd, but because we didn't use any snow days, we should be ending earlier. But if we don't end earlier, then I can't go to the cookout because it's literally like the last 2 days of school. But if it does end earlier, then I could just make it. So, and I really want to. I really want to be a part of that. So, my next events are looking like mid-June is a Command Fest. I haven't decided which one yet. End of June is the cookout with Tabletop Jocks. Um, then mid-July is Barcelona, which seems very unlikely. Well, end of July. It's like the 28th, 20 something, right? End of July is Barcelona, which seems very unlikely. Um, but I can certainly try and take a look. Um, I have a big trip planned with my mother in August, so I will be gone for 2 weeks in Europe. Um, and I won't be doing any events then, but I'm hoping to film with a couple channels after I get back from that, which is like the end of August. Then September will be Vegas, and then November will be um the summit. And there's also DreamHack in between, which I don't usually go to, but I would consider going to it. So, DreamHack I think is also like mid-July or something like that. So I wrote out all of these events and all of these things that I'm like hoping to go to, and I'm starting to create budget lists of like how much would the flight be to go to these events? How much would hotel be? Do I know anybody else who's going there that I could share hotel with? Because if I have to pay the hotel alone, I won't be able to afford to go. Like being able to split the costs with everybody and like making money leading up to it, it really helps. So, um, oh, cool. So for Commander Sealed in Rochester, that's another event, and that is in September, if I'm not mistaken. So it's um, pretty close to Vegas, but the only thing is that Rochester is drivable to me. It is a lengthy drive. I did it last year. It's like 5 hours for me. So, it's drivable. I don't have to spend money on a plane ticket, and that's helpful. Last time Gunnar was kind enough to open his home to me, so I was able to stay there and not incur any costs at all aside from driving there and back. So it was definitely like really doable on a budget for sure. Um Summit moved its Etria, thank you. I'm sorry. I might have missed it in the chat cuz I was going back and forth between the two chats for a while and like now I'm just catching up. Um Etria says actually I did mention this Summit I think is moving its date to October 27th to 29th. Which is funny because last year Magic Con was that weekend. So Magic Con Vegas I thought was going to be that weekend, but then I saw they moved it up to September, which is fine. And then Summit was normally that long weekend in November. Now it's October 27th to 29th. Um I would might have difficulty attending that actually because there is I can take a day off work and attend an event that's a shorter flight. Like if it's only a 2-hour flight or something, like if it's something in Florida, I could leave early in the morning and get there. Like, I could have a 6 a.m., 7 a.m. flight and be there by 9 a.m. and still, fly same day and only have to take one day off work. And I could leave that night and be home in 2 hours and go to work the next day, right? Like I could leave Sunday night. But when it's across the country from me, I live in New Jersey. So to go to Salt Lake City, it's like 5-6 hour flight plus a time difference. So there's only flights available at certain times. And then I wouldn't be able to fly back. Like I'd have to miss half the day's con to fly back on Sunday night or take off work like Thursday, Friday, and Monday. That's much less doable for me, especially in the beginning of a school year. So if it's true that they moved it to those dates in October, I likely won't be able to go because I couldn't easily take off the day or two of work needed to go to Vegas in September and then do it again a month later in October. It would not be wise. The city was pretty cool, Shannon. I'm happy to chat with you about what I thought about the city. I'm opening a box that Vin in the chat had gifted me this box, this full gigantic box at Magic Con. Was very generous in gifting me all of the Spanish language and Portuguese cards that he was willing to part with, and a lot of white border, which I collect as well. So some of these are already organized by color, which is lovely. And I already see some stuff that I play and would use. It's crazy because I feel so grateful. This was so generous. And I don't even know how to repay you because this is so amazing. And I am really lucky to have this box. So if there's anything, I'm gonna go through every card. If there's anything you want me to read or look up the translation to, or anything that anything that jumps out at you, I'm happy to stop and read it to you and read it over. But I do want to go through the cards at least once. So if there's something you're familiar with, something you want to see again, let me know. There's a Brimaz. This is a wonderful card. I'm so fortunate to, this is crazy. I am so fortunate to have this Brimaz in Spanish. I love this. I'm really touched because I play this in a couple decks and I know that some of these are sought after. So really, really beautiful cards. Some of these are... It's so funny. This Eidolon, it looks so long in Spanish that the font had to be smaller. This is super cool. Karmic Justice. Beautiful. Shannibal says flight to Salt Lake City from Philly. It's Frontier and it's a 10-hour flight. And then there's a Delta flight from Newark that's half the time. I'd pay the $15 more for the train to get to Newark to avoid Frontier. Yeah, I would too if I were you, honestly. Plus I don't like layover flights. They just take forever, and then if one flight is delayed, it fucks up your other flight, and it just ruins everything. This is the White Orchid. I love foreign language cards. Yeah, Shan, if I were you, I would just take the direct flight, honestly. You're better off. I always fly from Newark. It's closer to me. I actually work in Newark, so when I am able to, I will. This is a stunning Sarah Angel, by the way, and I love that it's white border. And a Savannah Lions white border too. Love that. Amazing. Thank you so much for this, Vin. Jean! I know, I'm streaming tomorrow as well. I just went for it. I took a nap today. I went to work today too. I worked at 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., came home, took a nap, ate my soup on stream, and here I am. um, yeah, I work in Newark, so when I'm able to, I will go straight from work to the airport because it's like a 10-minute drive, and I'll park my car at one of like the cheaper airport parking lots that will shuttle you to the airport, and they're like 5 minutes away or whatever. Um and I'll do that whenever possible, and then I'll fly back and either go straight to work if it's like one of those flights that's like a red eye with a time difference. I'll try to just go straight to work like a lunatic, or I'll come back like Sunday night and then go to work the next day. And that's what I did from Minneapolis. It wasn't that far of a flight, it was like 2.5 hours. So I flew back last night. I landed like 10 o'clock, and then just came home, unpacked a few things, and then went to work today. So it's been a crazy, crazy day. Um, Yeah, Anna and I double streamed, and then we were talking about our experience at Magic Con, and now I'm opening a box that I was gifted by Vin in chat, and I collect foreign language cards, especially Romance languages cards that I could read. Um, so Spanish, Portuguese, French, Italian, and Vin was kind enough to gift me this whole box of Spanish and Portuguese cards. Um, and they were already sorted by color, which is lovely. So I'm just going through them, and I'm already finding some like serious bangers. If anybody wants me to read something or look at something closer again, I'm happy to do that. But I'm just going through them because I want to see what's in here. I would love playable cards, cards that I like play in decks, but even if I don't end up putting them in any decks, I'm happy to collect them and save them for future decks. This is so cool. And I love white border cards, so there's a lot of them in here, which is great. This is like Balance of Power. This is weird. I wonder if this is a misprint or if it's like this, but the Wooburg symbol doesn't have any color. It's in like black and white. I wonder if that's a misprint or if it's intended to be like that on this card. Fifth Dawn did not have colored symbols. Interesting. See, I didn't know that. I'm a noob. I've only been playing for 2 years, period. Like, I've never played Magic before 2 years ago. And I've been streaming for a year now. My stream anniversary was while I was in Minneapolis. My 1 year stream anniversary was May 5th. So I wasn't able to do a stream anniversary stream. So this is my first official stream after my 1 year mark. So thank you for being here. And I'm learning so much from just doing these streams and like cracking packs and opening cards and opening older cards, talking about things I've acquired or collected, because these are things I didn't know at all. And folks give me so much new information. I'm learning something new every day just by streaming. Thank you, Vin. This hypnotic siren is stunning, and if I had the body, I would cosplay this. But your girl has a fupa, and I'm not about to try to put that much of my lower belly out into the world. Cave of Ice. Very cool. Oh, a gin. This is stunning. Vin. I love these. There's such great cards in this. Yeah, thank you, Jean. But I mean, like there's like a hole cut out in the belly. Like you can't really wear a Spanx unless like it's super low, you know? I do want to do like a Kiora cosplay one day. That's like you have to have like body yaddy yaddy for days, you know? But like I'm willing to do it if I can just like get into like a little bit of shape. I feel like over the last year, which is funny because it's definitely coincides with streaming, you know, like just being less active and being so much time in a chair as opposed to like going to the gym like I used to, things like that, you know, like I've been a lot less active over the last year. And it has definitely made an impact on my body. I still fit most of the same clothes. Like, I think there's like a couple pairs of jeans that are like now just too tight on me and I'm uncomfortable in them. But for the most part, I still fit the same clothes, but things fit differently. Like, I feel like looser in my body. My body's not as tight because I've been neglecting going to the gym as hard as I used to. So, if I can get myself into like a little bit better shape to where I feel really confident and good in my own skin, then I'm happy to do a Kiora cosplay. Um, I yeah, I 100% like flesh tone dancer costumes and dancer belts and things like that really make the difference. I actually personally I'm like cosplayer light. I've only done like a few cosplays and like I do sew, I do make my own costumes. But I usually do them for like conventions and I wear them like one and done. I never repeat them. So I've never done anything that's like super crazy intricate, but have made some things. And I fully believe that when you're wearing something that is showing like an entire leg, it always looks better for you to wear like a flesh tone tight as opposed to your own skin. It just makes everything look smoother and cleaner and like most of the time it looks like legs anyway. But even under like fishnets, it makes a world of difference to have like nude leggings or flesh tone like dancer tights on. It like cleans the whole cosplay for sure. Absolutely, cosplay is for everyone. And I would never knock anybody who's like trying to wear like like if there was like a heavy Kiora, I would never say a word about it. But I think you have to feel good in what you're wearing, and I wouldn't feel good in the costume if I didn't feel like my body looked a certain way. Like I think I have higher expectations on myself than anybody else has against me. I know that if I wore a costume, everybody would think I look fine in it, but I want to be able to wear it confidently. I want to be able to walk through the hall and be like, here's my, you know, make fun poses and like not mind being photographed and not have to like pull up or tug at the costume because I don't like the way it looks in some places, you know, or like have to constantly be walking around sucking it in because I feel like it'll look better in a picture, you know? I think I know myself and I don't want to wear something that I feel a little less than confident in. I want to feel great in my costume. So, at the moment, if I decide to do a magic cosplay, I would pick a character that I feel 100% confident and comfortable in wearing that costume. And while Kiora is something that I do want to attempt at one time, I'm not there yet with my body. I will be, but I'm not there. I'm glad for you, Shannibal, that you were able to overcome your confidence issues. I thought you looked great at Oko. What's up, CPM? Welcome in. Um, the phonetics of Fukalemana. Um, yeah, Shannibal, your costume was great at Oko. Oh, I love braids. Ugh, unbanned braids, you coward. I love it. This is pretty too. Yeah, you looked amazing, Shan. And if anybody didn't see Shannibal cosplayed for Oktoberfest, there's some pictures on my Instagram of it as well. And was really fun to watch on stage as well. Like I felt like you really embodied and brought the character to life. It was super cool to see. And I thought you looked quite confident. So it's really interesting to hear you say that you were feeling confidence issues because you looked so great and you looked confident to me. Exactly, CPM. I love braids. I love all the braids. My favorite one is the blue one because I play it in Queen, and she's so fun. But oh, Phyrexian Arena, Arena Pyrexiana. There's two of them, two versions, a white border and an old. Señor de la Peste. This is so cute, this art. Look at this. Little ugly cuties. He's making mochi in the art. Dross crocodile. This is such a cool box. I'm so grateful. I love this. And there's a lot of cards that I could make full like play sets of if I want to play it in a different format. Super cool. Ooh, I have a rat deck. I can put that in there. Coercion. I used to have a ton of cards in Romance languages. I should dig around. Let me know. This is a Diabolic Tutor in Spanish. That's a really cool, and a white border. And this is the black border version. I'm thriving. I love this. Rats! Yay! Rats, rats, rats. This is all going in my rat deck for sure. This is beautiful. I love this art. All right, red cards. We're on to red. Ooh. Dargans. That's so fun. Oh, I'm gonna put some music on, I think. I was like, why is it so quiet? I turned off the music because I was chatting with Anna earlier, and now I was like, why is it so quiet in here? And I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't put music on. Let's see what I want to listen to. There's a foil Portuguese abundance in one of my decks. That's fun. Can you read it? Let's see. I think I turned down the volume, but let's turn it back up a little. I had lo-fi on, which is pretty chill. I have to change it up though. You dirty were rat. Alright, here we go. Oh, she's so pretty. Look at her, big booby mommy. Hey, baby. Yeah, like, I'm not cosplaying that anytime soon. I'm I'm old. I'm an old biddy. I can't be doing that. But Kiora I'll do. Because I could wear a bodysuit. A Shivan dragon. Fun. I love. Ooh, somebody really was mad at this white border and they colored it in. Now I have a pink border. The exclusive pink border version. Two-headed dragon. Boras. Ooh, I love this. This is very Macbeth. Like 3 witches. Mana geyser. Cart clan. Lightning elemental. Furia Chiona. These are so cool. I love looking through these. Rabid dog. Yeah, there's a bunch. Vin says, I had 2 white border cards in a mono red deck. They got the closest Sharpie I had to red. The other was Ashnod's Altar. No! Some more mana geysers. What would this be called in English? It's Rain of Rocks. Lluvia de Piedras. Destroy target land. Feels mean. Stone Rain. Yeah, that's cool. We're on to Filthy Yucky Green. Oh, Krufix always useful. Rite of Passage. There's another Krufix. I'm like, who's texting me? It's Anna. I had an idea for a commander idea. So the Penny Dreadful format is not commander, it's like a 60 card. But because Anna and I have built budget decks together before, I had the idea of pushing the boundary and making a Penny Dreadful, using only Penny Dreadful legal cards to make a commander deck. So basically making a 100 card commander deck under $1 because all of the cards should be 1 to 2 cents. 2 cents is the budget, but basically they'll be 1 cent. So, hoping to make the, there are currently 8 commanders that are worth a cent, or 2 cents. And one of them happens to be an uncommander that Anna has not yet built. So she is going to be building that, and I'm going to be building an Orzhov commander as Penny Dreadful legal cards, but in commander format. So we were just texting about that. So that is our next plan. Tomorrow I'll be streaming Arena, but the next time Anna and I stream together, we'll be building our Penny Dreadful commander decks. We did make Pauper EDH decks. We did that already. But that is not quite as rigorous. Our Pauper EDH decks are... My Pauper EDH deck is $35. I built... Abdel Storm Coast Sailor. And I also started building something else that's mono blue, a little bit off meta, but I haven't quite dedicated the time to finishing it. Using a lot of like new cards and infect and stuff like that. So I do have a couple Pauper EDH decks in the works, and I built completely off meta. I happened to like Abdel, and it just so happened that Abdel was on a meta list, but I built it without looking at too much of the meta interaction until after it was already built. Dingus egg. Let me separate the colorless. Beautiful. Door to nothingness. Puerta a la nada. These are all cards I play. I love this. Cauldra cards. Fun times. Rockstar Jean says, I want to see what Anna does with Baron von Count. I don't know if she's made that yet. I have made a lot of uncommanders myself. I worked on Most Dangerous Gamer with her. She's made some changes since as new cards have come out, but we worked on the initial draft of it together because I built it from a sealed box in my unstream, and it was the one I enjoyed the best from the unset. So when she said she was going to build it, I offered to help build it because I had already built it once from sealed. So we built that one together, and she built some other ones. I built 6 decks doing my unstreams, which I all dismantled because they were all just from sealed and they weren't optimized. There are a couple other unsets that I wanted to build as well that I never got the chance to, so I really enjoy making them with Anna. Like, I really wanted to build Family Goblins and I never got the chance to, so that's one I might build in the future as well. But yeah, we are having a fun time playing Most Dangerous Gamer whenever we can. Baron von Count will be fun, for sure. Wayfarer's Bauble. Caminante. It's funny. Caminante is like walker. So it's funny how they translate. What are some decks y'all are working on? What are you wanting to build? I love Spellbook. Mirror. Gold mirror. I have 4 new decks that I built that I have not been able to play yet because I just haven't had the money to like buy the cards. So what I did before I went to Minneapolis was I bought all the cards from all those decks that were like under $2. And then I'm going to, in the meantime, proxy out the other cards that are too expensive, and little by little as I play test them, if I really love the decks, little by little I'll deproxy those cards. But I wanted to have at least half the decks be real, and it saves me having to like print them out and figure all that out. But another mirror. But yeah, I have like 4 new decks that I'm wanting to play. I have Goldbug, I have Errant and Giada. I'm working on a Slicer CEDH. So I have a lot of stuff that I'm wanting to play very soon. I just have to finish getting those decks together. But I do want to build something new. I'm like always building. This is First Strike. Always be building, yo. I have a Queen group hug deck. Did you know that, Jean? My Queen deck is pretty known. I'm editing it currently though. I'm swapping some cards out, but my Queen deck is the huggiest group hug deck that ever was, because Ricky Thomas told me that my decks are all gross, which is a bold-faced lie. Like, some of my decks are not, they're not nearly as like designed to go fast or hard. They're really slow burn decks. So it's funny that he thinks they're all gross. I guess he's just not used to what I play, or like not equipped to deal with those cards, but like but I don't really build grossly, despite what he might think. But because he said all of my decks are gross, I was like, I'm gonna build the nicest fucking deck you've ever seen. So I built this Queen group hug deck where I never attack. I now have, it's only alternate win con. There's about 13 or 14 alternate win cons in the deck. I have since added some alternate win cons that will force me to attack, but I won't attack unless it's for the win con. I don't have any board wipes. I don't have any removal in it. All I have is protection, pillow forting. There's ghostly prison, there's propaganda. There's a lot of politics that help, you know, other folks deal damage to each other as opposed to me. Lots of card draw, lots of benefits to my opponents. Every card in there is designed to benefit the table. So people usually keep me around for the entire game. I have multiple alternate win cons. Some of them do get removed because people are expecting me to have an alt win con, and they are subject to removal, but that's why I have multiple in there. I have things that generate tokens for me so that at least I have blockers. Even though I'm not attacking, I can like block things. Noble Benefactor is my favorite card in the deck. It is a 2/2 cleric creature that when it dies or is put into the graveyard, every player tutors for any card they want and puts it to their hand. So it's a free tutor for you and for everyone else. So you can tutor for one of your own win cons, put it right to hand. I also have the Blue Braids, which lets people just play stuff for free. Lots of stuff that just benefits the table that way. It is so fun to play. I never have to worry about power level, and if people want to fucking play like crazy high combo power levels and duke it out against each other, fine. Like, I'll just play Queen and have a good time. It's basically like lighting the match and watching the world burn. You don't have to like worry about a strategy or anything. It's just like the most chill deck to play, and people have told me that they love playing against it, that they like really enjoy their game with Queen, and it gives people the opportunity to see like what their own decks do as well. Like it optimizes the game in such a way that it speeds things up. So it's fun. It's a fun deck. We are now in multicolor pretty much. I love that this was so well organized. Awesome. Some great cards. I play a lot of Selesnya. Green is my least favorite color to play in Magic, but I do play a lot of Selesnya, and I do have some green stuff, some Golgari, some like, I think I have a mono green at this point. I'm not sure. So green is my least favorite, though I have found it useful in some decks or some commanders that I just really, really liked and wanted to build around. Hey, Kiora. Now red is my least played, but it doesn't mean it's my least favorite. My least favorite remains green. Chromanticora. Life and Death. Oh shit, a white border Spanish City of Brass. That is super cool. Oh, I just want to frame it. It's so pretty. Amazing. Thank you so much for this. This is crazy. I wish I knew you had a Queen built before Mini. I could have had another APAC promo brought here for you. Someone I know played in the Pro Tour from the Philippines. Brought me a bunch of the Magic 30 Asia promos. No way! Can you mail me one? I want one so bad. I had the Queen deck with me at Mini as well. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's one in here. I missed a card. I'm like, mail me one, I'll pay you. I want that so bad. It's a artifact I missed, so I'll have to put that back in the artifact pile. They only brought the one, sadly. Boo! Who's your connect? What's your hookup? Let me love you, baby. Vin's in ads, so I'm gonna wait a little while before we continue chatting. I don't know any Pro Tour players, Gene. I'm a noob. But as they come to the US, I can try to snag you some. Yes, if you can, let me know. I would kill a bitch. I want the that Japanese Giada too. That Japanese promo, that was sick. I have a Giada deck that I love. Like, I have pet decks. I have like 30 decks now at this point, but there are some decks that I always go back to. And I think my pet decks have become Traxos, Queen, Giada, and I feel like Joda is also kind of becoming a pet for me. Because my Joda deck is so unusual. Everybody builds Joda in a different way, and Joda cares about legendaries. But what I did with mine was I made it all backgrounds, because all of the backgrounds in Baldur's Gate are also legendary. So I gave it all backgrounds and all dragons. So all of the creatures, with the exception of a few things that really benefit me from like card draw standpoints or something like that, are dragons in my deck. So Joda is really scary. Welcome back, Vin. Thank you so much, Vin, for these cards. I will definitely use them. This is my foreign language pile right here, what it was previously. It was this very small pile here, and then somebody gifted me 4 plane chase boxes, all in Spanish. So I only opened one of them, and I have 3 more sealed. So I have this plane chase deck and like the plane chase cards underneath in Spanish, and I have 4 of those. And this was my first foreign language pile. Then somebody gifted me an entire box of Commander Legends in Spanish. Unfortunately, I didn't pull any fire from it, but it's cool that I have an entire box worth of Commander Legends in Spanish. And now I've acquired this box and some of the singles that I bought from the booth. Some of these are in English, not all of them, but I will start separating out some of these, like my lightning bolts. My play set of Spanish white border lightning bolts is I'm really super excited and proud of. So I also got an artist proof a while back of a Jester's cap in Spanish or in Portuguese or something. Let me find it. Yeah, in Spanish. So Dan Fraser had these artist proofs of like old Jester's cap, and I had to buy it because I was like, there's no way I'm missing out on that. So I thought that was super cool. These are ones I bought previously, not this time around, but from Livia Prima, I got Sarah Skyblade and Angel of Dawn in foil. I got this beautiful Mother of Ruins from her. From Billy Christian, I got the Necro Duality and the Aether Vial that was supposed to be for an event that was canceled due to COVID, and they were never released. So these were really expensive. This is the most expensive artist proof that I've ever bought. It was $100. But there were only like a very, very limited run of them, and it was never released for the event. So all that existed were the artist proofs, and they were foil. So it was like $100, and there was only like 20 or 25 of them or something like that, and I bought it. So at the time, I was willing to spend that. I got the Jester's cap in Spanish. What's up, Anna? I got a Clockwork Gnomes from Douglas Schuler. I got also from Douglas Schuler an Allosaurus Shepherd foil full art and a Dockside foil full art as well. Someone sent me Entreat the Angels artist proof as a gift. I bought these from the artist website, these 2 Feldegriffs, inked. So they're not on the actual, like, cards, but they're versions signed by the artist. I got a Seeker of the Way from Douglas Schuler as well. I remember you opening that. I think you opened that at Bellevue. I got from Miranda Meeks a Fracture, a Gravelighter, and Vodalian. No, just these 2. Sorry, Gravelighter and Fracture, which are not really cards that I play, but I liked her so much, and I liked her art so much that I wanted to support her. So I bought these 2 from her. Tyler Waypole, I got the Scour the Desert and Vodalian Arcanist. Jeff Miracola, I got the Muldrifter and the Rampant Growth full art foils. These are all proofs. I got the Flicker Wisp from Bex. Mark Poole, I got a Wasteland, a Howling Mine. I think that's it for Poole. Wasteland and Howling Mine. And there are foils as well. I got... Oh, and a Panharmonicon. These are all artist proofs. Martinen, I got Defense Grid and Temple Bell. And... Hold on. Eldrazi Monument and Winter Orb. And he was like, who hurt you? And I was like, I don't know, you drew it, huh? So... I got this from Ken Meyer. It is a Spanish formation. I got the Signet set in foil signed by Dan Frazier. So I got all the signets in foil signed by Dan Frazier, and they're all proofs. These were all purchased at Summit. The stuff that you're seeing in this box. I started collecting artist proofs at Summit, and I made it a point to go to each artist and purchase at least like 1 or 2 things. My first one, the one that really set me off, was Traxos. The artist for Traxos, Lasaido, is an overseas Asian artist that doesn't come across to the US that frequently. And when I saw that he was there and he had Traxos foil proofs, I bought this one, and I also bought a print of Traxos. And because I didn't know, but I found out then and there that he was also the artist for Daxos, which is a card I play a lot, I purchased both. And he made a joke that Traxos and Daxos are brothers. So he thought it was funny that I bought these specific two, because he's like, haha, brothers. And I was like, that's great. So, oh my god, I almost dropped this box. So these were my first artist proofs. Traxos being really the immediate draw for me. And my Aaron Miller purchase from the last time, I know I bought from him again this time, but my Aaron Miller purchase from him the last time was a foil Hero's Blade, a Smuggler's Share, Amulet of Safekeeping, Rotten Reunion, Cursed Totem, Totally Lost. I now have 2 of these, which is totally fine with me because I will likely put them in different decks. Dread Malkin, Solitary Camel, and Spinning Wheel. He signed all of them, but he offered me like the expensive foil signature for free, and he said, which of these wins you the most games? And so I said Hero's Blade for Traxos and Smuggler's Share because it's just valuable in anything white. So he signed it with like the rainbow foil signature for me. A Scrubland. Ooh. Rockstar Jean says, I got a crown proof from Aaron in Philly. One of these days I'm going to ask him to paint on the back. I currently don't have any artist proofs with stuff on the back because I just, I can't afford it, but I do want to support the artists by at least buying the proofs. So like maybe one day, you know, if there's like something I really love, like I'll go for it, but I just can't afford it now. So I got for anybody who wasn't here earlier, from this particular trip, I got from Justine Jones the Metal Dragon token, the Selfless Spirit, and Ganex, which is wild because Aaron Miller, who's also one of my favorites, also had a Ganex, and I was like, ooh, who do I buy it from? But I've already bought so much from Aaron Miller that I decided to go with Justine Jones because I just wanted to support her and give her a little bit more because I had already supported Aaron Miller. Rockstar Jean says, hey, Adam, welcome in. I was worried about you, Adam. I haven't seen you in a while. I've been meaning to reach out, but I've been here, there, everywhere. But, like, it's been on my mind to reach out to you. And I also found my bear companions still in my backpack. They, like, live there, and I keep, like, meaning to give them to you and forgetting. Etria says, yeah, the Scrubland is actually the cheapest of the dual lands. Yeah, I thought it was Plateau, but yeah, I think you're right. I already have the other two, thankfully. I had to go to Mini with thin margins this time because I needed major car repairs. Ugh, I feel you. I'm so broke. I allowed myself a little spend on artist proofs, and that's it. That's really where my money went. So for the Aaron Miller cards I got this time were Reflections of Littjara, Totally Lost, Stratus Walk, Valkyrie's Sword, and Sunblade Samurai. I got a Soul Snare from Evan Fong, and I did my biggest damage at Ryan Pancoast because he had so much. I wanted to buy even more, and I just couldn't do it responsibly. But I got a Negate, Ranger of Eos, Angel of Destiny, Archon of Emeria, Bar the Door, Mirror, Brasquire, Jetmir, Linden, and Joda. Somebody gifted me a Mana Tide that's not an artist piece. So that is what I bought this time. I'm also separating out. I have a little drawer of tokens. So got tokens and stickers from my friends. Over at Scry Babies, I got a Construct, a Food Token, Monarch, Yzma's, Elixir for like poison, and a Blood Token. So I am just putting my stuff together, organizing everything, putting everything in their little respective drawers. Yeah, I need to DM you once I start unwinding. I have like an endless to-do list because I just want to make sure that I keep up on like contacting the right people that for, you know, business opportunities that were like, hey, after the con, contact me. After the con, do this, you know, like say my thank yous. I want to reach out to the right folks tomorrow. I don't want to let too much time pass, but I will DM you as soon as I get off tonight, and then we'll chat again throughout the week because I want to catch up with you. I haven't talked to you in a while. So I just happened to have an... Oh my god, I was just talking about that! So, Adam, I was just talking about that. Yes, I do want it. I want it bad. Aaron Miller had the Judge promo foil and light and tutor artist proofs at Minneapolis for $400, and I know you're talking about a real card, but he had the artist proof version of the Judge promo foil and light and tutor, $400, and he said he had like 2 or 3 left, and he was like, once they're gone, they're gone. And I was like, why am I fucking poor? Like, I wanted it so fucking bad. I just couldn't. The 400 was just beyond my means, and I couldn't responsibly do that to myself. So I had to pass it up, unfortunately. That will live in my soul, you know, like I will think about that forever, but oh man, I couldn't. And he was like, there's only like 2 left. And I'm like, shut up, Aaron, don't do this to me. Like, I'm a pauper. I cannot do this. I will not eat to have this card. So I'm like, I can't. Oh, Adam, you're a gem. Let's chat about it for sure. Okay, so CPM, the thing is that I have been irresponsible, and now I'm in an unreasonable amount of debt that I'm trying to pay down. So I have to be responsible because I really want to accrue savings, and I want to make my opportunities to travel better and not inhibited by my funds. Not all of it was like shopping or anything like that. I own a house, and I've been too generous with like repairs and upgrades and doing, you know, hurrying into doing things that maybe didn't need to be done right away. And I know that it's a worthwhile investment, but it's thousands of dollars to make repairs and changes on your house. And I just quickly amassed credit card debt and loan debt as a result. I'm also paying off a master's degree. I graduated like 10 years ago, but I'm still paying. I still have like $40,000. You know, thankfully, loan payments stopped during the pandemic and they haven't restarted yet. And I'm hoping for a loan forgiveness, but that is still a debt that I have. So unfortunately, I have no choice but to try to be a bit more responsible. And I really, it's a nice collecting piece, and it's a nice piece that I'm sure will retain its value over time. But it's a spend that I just cannot justify at $400 when I could just pay down a bill with that, you know? Like, it's so, I have to be a grown up for a second. I don't love it, but, you know, alas, here we are. Anywho, I am grateful for all of you for being here. I'm going to finish for the night because I will be back tomorrow streaming with Astrals at 6:30 Eastern. We are going to be streaming Arena, and if I feel up to it afterwards, maybe I'll build a deck or something. So I will get in a little bit of EDH action and do some standard arena action as well. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks, Anna, for being in the chat as well. CPM, La Carnival, thank you so much. Adam, I will reach out to you in just a bit. I would love it if you could hang on in there for a little while. I'm gonna raid Tron, who is our friend that we stayed with while we were in Minneapolis. So I'm gonna send over a raid, and I would love to send a healthy raid to him. So if you could hang out and go say hi to Tron for me and follow him, and you know, tell him I sent you. And have a great night. Be awesome to each other. I love you all. Thank you all so much for your support, for your subs, for your follows, and for being here. Have a good night. Come back tomorrow, and see you all again. Bye.
A girl named Ron